And we are motherfucking live, Dave! So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Tonight, we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign, playing Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition, and this will be playing through Carl Sargent's classic Night Below campaign. And with me tonight are the stars of the Night Below campaign. I'm going to go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Oh, first once I actually get to you. There we go. First up, I've got Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I think I'm playing Calidor tonight. He is a level 4 Elven Fighter Thief who just gained his 4th level.
Ooh, very nice. And next up is Steve-O.
Good evening, yes, I am playing Riligo, the half-elf intrepid bard, who has just turned 3rd level. He's very excited. There's going to be some flaming balls real soon rolling around. And this evening I am drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Ooh, classing it up. Hipster
Yeah.
Steve. Jeez. Nice.
That's me, Mr. Hipster. Oh, yeah.
Next up is George.
Hey, I'm George. I am playing a human invoker called Knox the Unexpected, who also has just made 3rd level. And there may be 2 big balls of flame rolling around coming up soon.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Almost need to you guys almost say, goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
we teed that up for you.
Nice. And last but certainly not least is Dave.
Hey everybody, I am Dave. I am also sometimes New Guy Dave, on Discord anyways. And I'm playing Druin Axebrother. He is a 4th level motherfucking fighter and a 4th level motherfucking specialty priest of Clangadin. He's going to kick some smuggler ass tonight, especially since Jonathan's not going to be here.
Nice. All right. So guys, the last session was it was not a long one, but it was fairly eventful because I think you guys finally made it back to Melbourne, right?
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Not after an encounter with a large group of goblins.
That is true. Yes. There was it was an encounter that quite handily showed off the value of the morale mechanic in AD&D.
Yeah, totally. I thought we were dead. I had 2 hit points going into the battle, and I did go down, but I thought we were all going to be dead.
Oh yeah, because you guys went down in that first volley, and it turns out that without
Calidor was on
took him
fire.
Yeah,
Hit like
Calidor was
-3
on
and
fire.
-7.
Jeez.
Calidor would have hit him. The guy was wearing like plate mail with a shield spell and a ring of protection +3. Like, come on.
Yeah. Nice. So since we last had, well, I guess like last session we got back, and because we only had a few minutes left, we just sort of, hand waved that you got back and started talking about training. But what we need to do tonight is, for one, we'll continue talking about training because there's some other stuff that we've talked about. I posted the contents of the spell books. And I also, I don't think we had circulated it before because it's not in the player's handbook for some reason, but the particulars of spell books as well too, and that's in the DMG. So the spell books are actually, like your traditional 100-page spell books, they're 20 pounds. So that isn't really a problem for Knox, the uncannily strong for a wizard.
Yeah,
but
a totally wasted stat of a wizard. Yeah.
Well, it turns out if you're planning on carrying more than one spell book, that could be really valuable because
That's true.
yeah, they are incredibly heavy. The other thing, so we were talking about the amount of downtime that would pass. So I in between last session and this session, I've crunched the time, and it's basically going to push you guys. We're not in August yet. We're in high summer right now. But by the time you guys are all finished your training and whatnot, we're actually going to be pushing. We're hitting past the last festival. So the last quarterly festival, Brewfest, and then we're heading into the autumn. So with all things with the training, with the 1 week of performing ceremonies that Druin and Chael are going to do, that'll push you to a week into the autumn. And what that means is that the wizards and such in the party are going to have a substantial amount of time to do things as well, but it takes to copy spells into your spell book. It actually takes 1d 2 times the level of the spell days to copy it in, and then there's it's a random amount of pages it takes up in your spell book as well too. So for those of you, I guess the only person we need to actually there's 2 we need to worry about is Religo and Knox, who have spell books. So you guys assume that you guys will have actually I think Steve, you're going to have a traveling spell book. So it's lighter than what the others do, but it only has 50 pages in it.
Okay.
Okay. Same value, like same dollar value or gold piece value as what the other ones are, but the full size spell books are like, big, like, Mickey summoning brooms kind of large.
If people knew the originality of my music, it'd be worth like 4 times that.
I think that each page, it's crazy. It's like 8 gold pieces per piece of. Is that how much it was? 8?
Yeah, you probably don't want to be putting your songs in there. You probably want to leave that just for magic.
Yeah, I was thinking like that's gonna be expensive use of the spell book.
Oh, my songs are magic every time.
Nice. Oh, sorry. Forgive me.
That is also accurate too.
Spell books
are
it's 50 gold pieces per page.
50. It's insane.
50. So if you're penning your ditties into that's going to be a very expensive sketch pad.
And that's a regular spell book. A traveling spell book is 100 GP per page.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What kind of parchment is that?
That's
right.
almost.
It's 8 GP per vial of ink. So copying the spells, it costs you 8 GP per level of spell.
Well, there's an octopus shortage? All right.
Yes. Because they're
So
cartoon.
we really need to get into the spellbook business, boys. I think.
Exactly.
I see the dollar signs, man.
Mon-
That's right. Why fight these goblins? We can make books.
Calidor, let's start bringing in some. We'll get some pulping going on. We'll make some paper. We'll figure out what kind of magical thing these guys got to do to make it into spellbook paper, and then we're golden. Like we'll just like set up shop.
I'll publish my music. Oh man.
Sorry, Mr. Guy Jacks. I'm also going to sell this 2-handed sword. So.
Nice. Yeah. So, and you guys, of course, invested what do you call it? Your proficiency in paper making, right?
Exactly.
No.
I can learn.
All right. How hard can it be? Says everyone before learning how hard everything is. All right. So what we need to that should give Knox up. That gives you lots of time and money to sink into learning your spell. Same thing with you, Religo. While Religo, and you're specialized too, Knox. So you get, is it evocation and invocation? That's your special. Awesome. Correct. So you'll be able to pick your 3rd level now, 2nd level spell. Look at that.
Yeah, 2nd level. So the Flaming Spear was on my mind. So yeah. Did you want me to roll randomly for the number of pages that I have used up so far with the spells I have?
Please, yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and then so you can figure that out, and then also we might as well, since we're talking about this, let's make your intelligence roll for learning. Let's make sure you figured out that flaming sphere.
Well, so I was, if you don't want to do it this way, that's totally fine. When I was looking up the specialist wizard, he said one of the advantages is that for your spell that you learn from your school, you don't need to make a roll for one spell.
Fantastic.
Just the one for the new level.
Nope, that's fine. I got plenty of other ways to fuck you over. So
I was gonna say that's what I was just gonna say. You took the words out of my mouth.
Although it's funny because there was a commenter who actually that was the straw that broke their back. They're like, "You got to be kidding me! You're making them roll for that."
Oh no, that was fun. I really like that. It keeps you. It keeps every wizard a little different.
Well, and it also gives you the incentive for, for when you find 2 copies of the same spell. Like, there's value there. It's not like, I know it already. It's like, well, I didn't learn it from the last version, so maybe I'll learn it from this version.
Yeah, exactly. And so so for anybody listening, whenever a specialist reaches a new spell level, he automatically gains 1 spell at his school to add. No roll for learning the spell need be made.
Fantastic.
So rules is written.
We're getting off light this time.
I know. I am going to try to learn some other spells.
But we'll forget that rule before Hobbs comes back.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know what you're talking about.
And Dorman as well, too. Both Elanion and Dorman are especially wizards because he's an illusionist.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. However, Steve, you do not automatically learn. You do gain another an opportunity to cast another spell, but you do not automatically learn one. I guess the other thing that you guys could consider doing is identifying some of the magic items as well too. You guys do have those, and Steve, I don't know if you know Identify. Do you have it in your spellbook yet?
No, but I got that 15% chance as opposed to 10 now to figure out what something is.
Ooh.
Yeah.
True. When Identify gives you 15%. The thing is, you can only do that once with your Bardic ability. You can cast Identify over and over again. The downside is that, of course, it kicks the shit out of your Constitution when you cast it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You lose 8 hit points. 8 points of con.
Not your Bardic ability. The spell.
Yeah, you do.
I wasn't born in 85 or after, pal.
It's temporary. It's temporary, and it comes back.
Yeah.
Like a point an hour or something.
That's right.
Yeah. It comes back fairly quickly, but you do get the shit kicked out of you for a while. So let's talk about what we want to do today, guys. I think one of the things you want to talk about is, or consider is, planning for where you want to go next. Like we're going to be role-playing through some of the stuff, like with Lord Carmen. There's a couple NPCs who want to check in with you guys. Druin, it sounds like, wants to pursue that task. That I think, is it not Rendemus? What's his name?
Well, it was Rendemus, who the fighter trainer, who wanted me to find out if Darnar Deeds is indeed a smuggler. So he didn't say bring him in. He just said, I need to find out. So.
Oh, it is Rendemus. Jesus, I actually thought I had the name wrong because that was just the first thing that kind of came to mind.
That was worth 50% off training, and so that's why I was like, is this something you wanted to do in session? Should I have held off?
No, and it's a good question, because like that's actually the reason I offered those is not only to just give you a discount or a way of getting a discount on the expensive training. To be honest, it's also to have side quests and stuff. Like that's part of the fun of the sandbox style thing, is you can have these short and sweet kind of adventures, right? That don't sprawl out. Oh, let me rephrase that. They're not intended to sprawl out. This is me we're talking about, so this can very well be the next 30 seconds.
We want to go to Greyhawk, Kev. We want to go to Greyhawk. Come on.
City of Greyhawk, yeah. City of Greyhawk's not too far off either. You got to stop me thinking that way, because I'm like, ooh, and I can actually run slavers now because you guys are third level. So no, stay on topic, Madison.
So yeah, the reason I wanted to know if that was something you wanted to do in game was because I was like, well, do I hold off on leveling fighter until we've done this, save the money, and then I can pay back Elanion and maybe upgrade armor or something like that. So
the other thing I'm thinking too is, like, on a strictly metagame basis, one of the reasons why I've got those in there is because for those of you who are like, you've got enough to get, like Steve's character has got enough to not only gain a level, but he's 1 point shy of the next level. Same thing with Elanion. This is an opportunity to do a quick little side quest. We actually have an adventure. Your character's experience and learn some shit, and we justify giving you your next level then.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, so that's sort of what my thinking was that, like, partly it's to also give you an opportunity to kind of feel around in the world a little more, to explore more parts of, like, little bits of it, to do a kind of fun, little side quest thing, to introduce a Fang Dragon to the campaign, and then also to allow the other characters to get that little bit of extra XP they need. Knox, how close are you to your next level?
I was just checking. I'm actually quite far away. I'm at 7,340 out of 10,000. So
$3,000 off. Okay, so you're.
But hey, I just made third level. Very happy about that. So
there you go. One step closer to Fireball.
And did Knox get some more hit points too?
I did.
He did. You rolled
very
max.
badly. No.
Did you roll?
Terribly.
It's Elanion.
That's right. You rolled exactly. Thankfully, I got 2. Plus, I have +2 con. So
yeah.
4 total, but.
So if you guys were, so let's talk about just how to time sort of what we're going to be doing today. So a real ago, you'll remember that it's actually a dwarven bard who travels, who you're going to be training with, and his name is Randek Dustdigger.
Sweet. What does he play?
He plays the drums, and he plays the lute,
he does.
And he plays the crossbow.
He's a one-man band.
He is. Yeah, he's. This is the equivalent of that, idiot on the corner who's got a drum in his back and a guitar and everything.
Desk digger.
And so what I was thinking is to have the training done. I'm going to assume that Dorman and Calidor and you need 3 weeks though.
So
Yeah,
while
I
I was training my cleric, that takes me up to the 4th.
Oh yeah, that takes you 3 weeks as well too. Okay, great, perfect. Then I don't know why I thought it would take you 1 week. So your training, Druin, and Calidor's training took place. So Calidor's thief training and Dorman's thief training, that would have taken place at the same time that you were training as a cleric. Okay, and then
I had an extra week at the beginning because we were going back to Harleton to do the ceremonies and services and things.
We'll
like that.
tack that on at the end. We'll assume that you're going to do that you've set it up. Okay, because that will, or we'll put it in the middle or something for when everyone else needs to get their training done. And because it will take some time to organize that stuff. It's not a matter of you show up and be like, hey, let's get married right now.
Okay, yes, makes sense. Yeah, you've got 3 weeks and then I'm coming in.
Well, and a happy coincidence with it as well is that if you once you complete all your training, it will be basically you can start the weddings at Brewfest. So there's gonna be this big celebration, from end of summer leading into fall. Everyone's gonna get married and whatnot, and then you spend the long, cold winters all stuck inside, and then come spring, come summer, the kids are born, and it'll all work. The timing will all work out well. So that is a happy bit of coincidence of where the calendar was with us. Rilligo, you need to spend 2 weeks of training with Randek, but I think that you're likely to find Randek more likely at Thurmaster than you are here. And Knox needs to travel to Towster in Thurmaster anyway. It takes you 8 days round trip to go back and forth to Thurmaster. So basically, Rilligo and Knox will be getting back a day after you two, that Calidor and Druin, completed your first training, and you were talking about doing the discount with Rendemus. This also, because you're assuming that Calidor, you're going to go along with this. This also means that you would get a discount.
Oh,
right.
Training your fighter level.
Yeah. So you'll get your training for Rogue with Captain Dernar Deeds, and then you'll fuck him over and get a discount.
Hey.
Well, that's what a good thief does, breaks, right? Man. Looks out for himself.
Yeah. This is, of course, Captain Dernar Deeds.
So, Kev, would that then mean that I hadn't done my fighter training when we're doing this, and that's still to come?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry too much about the stats. I think your fighter is 5 extra hit points and a slightly lower THAC0.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
I could lower my THAC0 for today if you want.
I'm not. It's up to you. I mean, I'm not fussed really whether you do it or don't do it.
Okay.
Knox.
Yes.
So I'm just grabbing the night below. I'm going to tell you what because as part of your training with Towster, he will also teach you a new spell.
Okay, so I'm gonna since we're on me, I'm gonna roll my number of pages in my book right now.
Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead.
There we go. All right, so 30. So it was 1d6. It was 1, times 1d6 per level. With my level is 1, so 12 spells.
Yeah.
12d6 minus 1, so minus 12. That's where I got that math.
Okay.
Because basically it was 1d6 minus 1 per spell.
Oh, plus 1, right? It's 1.
It says minus.
No. I mean, it's 1. Hold on, where is it here? It's a really weird formula. So
yeah,
I may not.
Level plus 1d6 minus 1 pages.
Yeah, so it's so it's the level of the spell plus 1d6 pages for each spell. So each spell is 1 plus 1d6 minus 1.
Oh, it's 1 plus. Okay, so
yeah,
it'll be 47.
Yes.
Plus 1.
Yeah, because if you got 12 spells, then it's 47, correct?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that fills up
cool.
quick.
Yeah, it sure does. Thankfully, I have a large size one, but I still have some more space. I just want to make sure I actually have space for whatever spells Towster might have available.
Yeah, and that's and like this is just when I was reading it on Wednesday, I just kept thinking like this is another one of those interesting things. It's going to feel like tedious bookkeeping, but I think it'll add to the whole like the motivation to like keep another spell book or get another spell book is pretty big.
Totally, and I like the reality of it.
Awesome. I also may have ordered a copy of Pages from the Mages just to have a bunch of pre-made spell books at hand.
I don't even know what is Pages from the Mages.
Pages from the Mages is a Forgotten Realms book that has just a bunch of. It's one of those '90s releases, right? So I think like you were at West End at the time, so.
Well, they we swap books every month.
Fucking pricks. Clearly, one of your what the fuck were the journals called?
The Star Wars Adventure Journals.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, one of them was subpar. Like, nah.
I was one of the editors on that. Come on.
Hey, don't take it up with me. Take it up with the '90s WotC guy or TSR guys.
I know. And I was working at West End when this came out.
Those bastards.
And who worked on it? Let's see that. Who do I have to blame here?
Nice.
Oh, Tim Beach, who I know very well, very nice person. I have to email him.
Yes, dear Tim.
Where's my book? I know
You owe me one book.
Yeah.
it's a
25 years distant. You owe me a book.
Motherfucker.
Is that
Oh,
right?
man.
Is that the math? Is it math?
Yeah, you got to throw a motherfucker in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So we got that
sorry.
in there. No, it looks like a cool book too. So I'm.
I was just looking at it. It does look cool.
So
I vaguely remember the cover. I don't think I ever had it.
now it's like it was for those books. Like there's a lot of them that are a surprise to me because I wasn't in. I was out of AD&D at the time,
Mm-hmm.
which just means that they're pleasant surprises now, and gives you an
Sure.
opportunity to touch base with an old colleague too.
That's right.
Okay, so Jeffrey, you are completed your thief training as well too. Rilligo and Knox, you guys have traveled away. Rilligo, how many spells do you have in your spell book right now?
I've got a few. I've got, let's see here, I think about 6. Hold on here, let's find out. Last time I copied a few off him. Yes, I have Burning Hands, Message Armor, Change Self, Magic Missile, and Spider Climb.
How many is that?
That's 6.
6, okay. So Steve, give us a 6d6 minus 6 roll, please.
I love that one. All right.
Okay.
6d6 minus 6.
Please, yeah.
Bring up. Because it's a
Okay,
14.
All right, so, and that's 6, 20. So 20 pages of your traveling spellbook, your 50-page spellbook, are taken up by the ones you've got so far.
20 out of 50?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and the reason that's important to know is because as you copy down new spells, each of them will fill up the level of the spell plus 1d6 minus 1. Pages.
Can I erase previous spells?
If you never want to cast them again, yes, you can. Well, no, actually, you can't. You just ruin the pages, is really what happens.
Is there no erasable ink for parchment?
I think first off, there isn't, but also the ink you need to put in your spellbook, it costs you 8 GP per vial.
Oof, man, tough economy.
Yeah. Hey, it's a good gig if you can get it, right?
I'm saying we got to open up a stationery store. Wizard Stationery.
This
is like the Australia of whatever this planet is.
Steve, do I need to change my dire kangaroo encounter now? Come on.
Heck no.
Okay, let's hear the spells you have available. Do you remember which ones that you tried to learn from him but were unsuccessful?
Yeah. Oh, shit. There was one I really wanted too, and I didn't get it. Man, it was a little while ago. So.
Which okay. If you didn't record it, that's okay. We'll just start doing that going forward.
No, I should have recorded it. That is my fault.
No. It's okay. I mean, like we weren't really. I don't know.
I was so disappointed that
I remember that there was something that you really wanted that you didn't learn from him.
There was. I'm looking up the.
Oh, look at this random encounter here.
Oh.
Yay for you and me.
Hey, Hobbs.
Couldn't stay away.
Me and
Oh.
Hobbs get to have a fight.
Let's see.
He's loading up. Okay, so let's see here. Where has my list of Tauster's spells gone?
Huh. I don't remember what it was.
Is it a booby trap?
Yes. Here, I'll go through the list of things he's got in his in his book.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Charm person.
I did not try to get that because I cannot take it. It's a
Sleep.
band school for me. Sleep is a band school for me.
Oh, okay. Read magic. Comprehend
Have that.
languages.
Do not have that. That's interesting.
What other things did he have?
Alteration, that's possible for me.
Alteration is possible?
Yep, I can't do conjuration. Sorry, I can't do enchantment charm.
Give me a
so
second.
sleep I
Let me,
can't do, and yeah.
Let me reconnect here. We got... let's see if we can get us a Hobbs in here. And we're thinking.
The Hobbinator.
Boom, boom, and...
Jeff, my glass is getting empty. I don't know. There must be a hole in this.
I think that's a
It's going around.
It's a triple glass.
Yep.
Oh, Hobbs still not in the Roll20 or in the Hangout. Okay, let me grab my book, and we'll see what. Where's he? Go. Wizard Spell Compendium. God dang. These. Oh no, it was my magic item thing. Was a birthday present last year for my folks.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was in town. Which I'm gonna miss this year. I'm not gonna be in Winnipeg this year.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Clearly, well, you know what? It just means I get to do it online, to be honest. So it's gonna be.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're doing one with the my hometown folks, and we're doing one with you guys. So yeah, you guys are more than welcome to. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And I've got. Oh boy, do I have a plan for the roster players. So.
Oh, no.
What if I'm technically both?
You get to attend.
That's
Jeff
right.
is both. I think
Oh, yeah,
Steve has
Jeff.
made half of the ones too, and my cousin usually plays in our gaming marathon as well too. Corey.
Yeah, I hope Corey makes it.
Oh, me too.
Do we order?
Just
We're gonna order Thai.
yes. We'll skip the dishes. Everyone will get
Yeah.
Thai, so they
Everybody
get the
gets
authentic
Thai.
experience.
Skip the dishes. Some kind of order, something similar to what Kev would normally get.
We'll send the bill to Jeff because Jeff always jumps in
Yeah.
and bill pays for everybody.
Did you say we have to wear a tie?
Hobbs, are you wearing a tie today? Are you classing up this joint?
No, I thought you said we had to wear ties.
What do you mean? For today?
No, we're gonna order Thai.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. We're churching up this place, Hobbs.
Look for a tie.
Get up, motherfucker.
I
I
think I want
the
to
only
have the
time I've
cowboy
worn-
ties.
I
Go
Oh,
back.
yeah.
the only
String
time
ties.
I wore a tie
string
was for the October faction game.
Oh, that's right.
So bow tie?
I did the mullet suit that day too, though.
Oh.
Business
I
on
love-
top and party down below.
Did you make that up? I never heard that before. That was awesome.
I did make it up. Yeah,
That's great. That is definitely a thing these days.
it is very much a thing these days. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so which makes it great when people forget to turn their webcams off when you're doing discoveries, and they walk away. You're like,
Oh, that's
newscaster.
Yeah, right. So-
Was it Magic Missile?
No, because I already had that.
Or you have Magic Missile?
I thought it was like sleep or something.
No,
I-
Sleep is banned.
Honestly, yeah.
Is verboten. Which ones are you? Which school are you banned from?
Enchantment charm.
Enchantment Charm. Okay.
All this magic stuff's making me thirsty. Jeff.
Because I wasn't high enough, so
Yeah.
be first level. I think color spray. Does he have color spray on his list?
Color Space Illusion. Dorman has that in his book.
Okay. Maybe it was him I did.
Oh, Hobbs. Yeah, you get to pick an Earth spell, and you do not have to roll for it.
Oh, that's not the rule. Is that one you just made up, or?
No, that's the rule. Turns out I'm a lot harder on you.
For specialist mages, it's a rule.
Oh, when the thing I read said you just get a bonus 25%.
That's
And
for
this one,
that's for learning spells. That's separate from the extra one you get, unless the Elementalist doesn't get a free one at each level.
Oh, I'm sure the Elementalist does get a free one.
They also get a
Positive
bonus.
You're right, actually.
It sounds
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. What other ones would it have been?
So he doesn't have color spray, right, in his list, right?
He does not have color spray in his book. No.
Um,
And you know what? Here's the no prize explanation. I can't remember what I said was in because I think I added some into his book also, but I did it without writing it down. So those listening at home, use this as a cautionary tale for your improvised campaign to write shit down when you make up stuff on the fly. However, my no prize explanation for that is Towster is very old and forgetful, so he may have misplaced the spellbook that had the shit I talked about last time.
yes, I like it. That sounds great to me.
Was it Phantasmal Force?
That was definitely one I was interested in that I can learn.
Okay.
So I think let's say that's one of them.
Let's say that's one of them. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's give it a rare one here too. One of the things I love about the spell compendium is they give rarities for the spells,
Yes, I saw
which
that.
is
That's
super
pretty
cool. Oh man, there's a first level spell called Spoil Holy Water.
Mm.
That strikes me as a very situational. Like, you know what? Fuck you, Tom. We're gonna add this spell in now. That came up at one point. Oh, Snillick's Snowball is obviously in one of the goblins ones.
Why do you hate Tom?
I
Using
don't.
the holy water every session. Get a new move.
Yeah, come on, Tom. Fucking carrying around 12 vials of holy water. Especially when he knows that undead are what I like using best.
I think
Yeah.
Snillick was another one that I wasn't able to get.
Which one?
Snillick's.
Did you try and learn that last time?
Is that a first level spell?
Didn't you miss 5 of them that you tried to get?
Yeah.
And kept having, yeah.
I definitely missed a few. That sounds like one of them.
Okay,
Which
so maybe.
episode was that? I'll
Talk
just
about
go
it.
watch it for you guys while you're.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that actually would help. I wonder if it's even how far back.
What?
it's-
Episode
Trying to think what other ones it would have
26
been.
when it came back.
Well, and we didn't write down the names of the spells in the chat, so
Here's another great one too. Nystol's Magical Aura.
that is a nice one.
All right.
That was
So,
your
well-
Welster laugh you just dropped on.
Yeah.
him.
Exactly.
What about Tensor's Magic or Tensor's Floating Disc? That could carry all your heavy spellbooks.
Can.
That's good. Well, here, I can make it very easy for you, Kev, which is that the only one I'm a first level that I'm interested anyway is comprehend languages, which I know I didn't try to learn.
Okay. Okay.
And then anything else would be to see if he happens to have any second
So let's see if
spells.
you learned. Go ahead and make the roll for comprehend languages.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're able to learn it from him.
100. That is not from my school, so I get no bonus there. And my learn spell is yes.
Outstanding. Good. Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
So you got to add comprehend languages to your book, and that
Good.
give us a 1d. What is it? 1d2 times 1. That'll tell us how many days it took you to copy that into there. Same thing for your the one you learned as well on your own.
Right.
Which one did you pick anyway?
Flaming Sphere was the one I picked.
Oh, sweet.
So that is 1d2 times 2. It's
Oh.
the second one, right?
So you got Flaming Sphere, and Steve's got a roll to get Flaming Sphere.
Oh,
and
you-
talked
hold on,
about
you
it
got
for,
access-
5 weeks.
I forgot that you got access to second level spells. So here's the other ones you could have learned from Towster.
That's what I'm interested in. Is anything?
Okay.
I only have one second level spell now.
ESP, invisibility, and web.
Web is interesting because it's evocation. I'm gonna try for it.
You know what? We'll just use your roll for comprehend languages.
Well, I did want comprehend languages.
Oh, so you want to stick around for an
I'll take it
extra?
too. Can I? Yeah, exactly. I think I have enough. I think I have enough time, but that's what I was looking
Sure.
for.
Well,
the
it'll be
number of days.
1d2 times 2 then, I guess, is how many days it'll take you to copy that in.
Yeah, so I did one for the comprehend languages. I rolled also for the flaming sphere, so that I'm at a total of 3 days so far.
Okay.
And this would be for 4 days.
4 days,
So
so
that was
that was-
exactly 7 days, which is
Okay.
I think what I had.
So then let's roll, see if you actually learned it, though, because you're right, if you're learning
Totally.
both.
Yeah. Let's go for it
Okay.
here. And that is of my school, so I get
Come
a
on.
bonus, which is what is the bonus? Hobbs, what's the bonus for specialist learning?
I think it's different for elementalists.
Okay.
Elementalist is better, yeah. I think
Okay.
15% is a specialist.
Okay.
I think
Sounds
you
right.
said 15
25
earlier.
is elementalist. Yeah,
Yeah.
15 for specialist.
Okay.
And Hobbs, you also get a new spell, and you have access to second level spells now too, don't you?
Correct. Yeah. And you sent us something, but I can't remember. Did you send it as an email or?
So I posted the contents of the Elven Mage's spellbook and the Goblin spellbook in Discord. I also emailed you something too.
That's what I'm looking for. The email.
Yep. So you're gonna look for an email. Success. Outstanding. Yeah. Very good. Okay. So you learned that too. All right, Steve. You're learning from. Oh, right. You're learning from another bard. So it'll be crazy random what you get.
Sweet.
Love it.
Random spell.
I'm not sure I know anyone who enjoys random content as much as you do, Steve. It's fantastic. Fuck it, we're all random.
Natural
random magic weapon turned out to be like perfect.
Oh my gosh, I'm pretty equipped, to be honest. That made up for a lot of shit. That plus 4 banded armor.
I put up with a lot of bullshit in this game, Madison.
Exactly, no doubt. Just to get rewarded.
Oh man. So give me a D40, Steve-O.
D40.
Yeah.
Sweet. My second favorite. All right.
Go.
40. Here we go.
Big
money.
money.
No, you say roll, right? Wait, this was roll space D40? Yes. Here we go. 17.
17. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jeff's got no icon now.
Okay. You can learn. I think because this is kind of a funny coincidence. Because you were talking about this. What's your character's intelligence, Steve?
Awe-inspiring. Let's see here. It is. I think it is 16. Actually, not bad.
Not bad at all.
That's becoming really useful so far. All right. Shall we? No, yes, it is. Chance to learn spell. That's useful. Okay. Good.
Yes. Chance to learn spell is what we're looking at. So, would you? Let's see here. The spell that is on offer is the spell Erase.
Okay. Give her a roll.
Give her a roll. You kept talking about erasing stuff in your spell book, so that's true. That happens to be what you rolled.
There you go. 58.
You learn it. Now give us a D.
Sweet.
2 a roll. This will tell you how many days it takes you to copy it into your spell book.
Roll 1d2. 1 day.
Only a day, and then give us a D6 minus 1. It'll be 1 plus whatever you roll. That's how many days it takes you to, or how many pages it takes up in your book.
Oh my gosh. 1 needs to get low roll. Thank you. 1. Sweet.
Nice. So 3 pages in total. So Erase it removes writings of either magical or mundane nature from a scroll, or 1 or 2 pages of paper, parchment, or similar surfaces. It removes explosive runes, glyphs of warding, sepia snake sigils, and wizard marks, but it does not remove illusory script or symbols. Non-magical writings are automatically erased. Magical writings must be touched and have 30% likely to be erased, plus 5% per caster level.
Every once in a while, I'm just going to randomly erase a page from Knox's spellbook.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah. Who's been fucking with my stuff?
Exactly.
It's like, where's that legal document for the house we bought? Oh, it's half off.
Oh, that's what that was.
Yes. Okay.
Grocery list.
Now, Hobbs, do you? Let's see here. In addition to the one that you're going to pick, your trainer will also, your spirit guide will also offer you a choice of another spell as well. So let's take a look at second level spells here.
I did not do any of my homework. I'm sorry.
That is fine. We're gonna make. Where's the dunce cap? Come on.
Were you doing working or something? Like, come on.
I have it on. I had a crazy day.
Yeah,
my phone went terrible, and I mean, it was just insane.
Jeez.
I had to get a new phone, so then I had to get a new tablet, and I mean, it was just madness.
Oh, fuck yeah! That's not. Holy shit.
That sucks.
That sucks. Well, you're here, and we appreciate you being here.
That's right.
Thanks.
Yeah, so stop making me feel bad.
Sorry, Hobbs.
Wait a second. This started off with you apologizing.
Guys, we're gonna switch to play nothing but 5e tonight. It's gonna be nothing but feel good for Hobbs. And look, you fall backwards into another magic item. I'm just kidding.
That didn't sound very nice to all the 5e
no, really,
fans out there.
really additional. Apparently a little
Druin
scrappy.
stops to catch his breath and gains 12 hit points.
Nice. I'm just kidding. I actually, there's 2 new monster manuals out on the Dungeon Masters Guild for 5e that was posted today. I got both of those suckers coming to me now.
Cool.
Because clearly I run 5e so much, you know. It's in case. In case I get there, I need another 600 monsters. So
that's right, for emergencies.
Exactly.
I have like 8 or 10 5e books myself.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I-
great
I
stuff.
got all
Well,
of them, I think.
that the equipment book, we use that like every time you guys find a magic item, so it's all
Yeah.
usable. Okay, so let's see
That book
here.
is great.
Totally. So your choices here, we'll go with the rare ones. You either get a choice of Maximilian's Earthen Grasp or Stone Sleep.
So aren't both of those in? Oh, I don't have to worry about it. This would be I can definitely get them.
Exactly. You don't need to worry about that. This is something you get as part of your training.
What the heck is a stone sleep anyway?
Stone Sleep is, I'm looking it up right now. I
You
had
can sleep on stone as if it's a quilted mat.
yeah. When cast, the wizard forces one creature made of earth and stone into a state of dormancy. So
Ooh,
that's
that would have been nice.
Turns
Yeah.
him into a gnome.
yeah. Oh heck yeah. The mud creature. Yeah,
No, you said it turned him into a state of dormancy. I'm like, sounds like turning into dormant.
yeah, dormant.
turn him into a chubby gnome who cooks.
Exactly.
That was even too subtle for me, and normally I'm on top of that.
Well, you've had a long day, so.
I have.
So this spell affects creatures such as earth elementals, clay and stone golems, Galeb-Dur, mudmen, sandlings, and Zorn, and then I can rule whether it affects other creatures like basilisks, stone giants, medusae, and rust monsters. Rust monsters, that's reaching. Shh.
We already, see, I knew exactly where that was going. As soon as he gets
Jesus
the
Christ.
roll, we're never gonna get to use that.
You will be able to use it on many things. So that's one of the ones. Is effectively it's a sleep that specifically is able to affect creatures that normally aren't affected by
Are
sleep.
not affected by sleep.
Yeah.
That's a
And then-
cool idea.
Yep, and then Maximilian's Earthen Grasp is, I think it's like it's a hand that kind of comes up from the ground and grabs, but it's a better version of it. Here we go. Maximilian's Earthen Grasp.
Better.
It causes an arm made of compacted soil to rise from the ground. It must be cast on open turf, such as grassy field or a dirt floor. It rises from the ground. Attempts to grab a creature's leg. They must make a saving throw versus spells. If successful, the hand sinks in the ground. Every round thereafter, the hand has a 5% chance per level to reappear beneath the target creature, requiring another saving throw. If the saving throw is failed, the earthen limb firmly grasps and holds the creature in place. Anyone held by the hand suffers a movement rate of 0 and a penalty of -2 to AC and a penalty of -2 to attacks. All dex combat bonuses are negated. The hand causes no physical damage, and then they can try and break their way out. It has AC 5 hit points equal to double the caster's maximum hit points. Holy shit.
Pretty strong.
And the duration of it is 3 rounds plus 1 round per level. So that's your options: Stone Sleep or Maximilian's Earthen Grasp. I'll let you mull that over. Yeah, that's okay. You thinking about it, and then Steve-O. We got
Yes?
you. Yeah, you got Erase as your thing. Now you also have time to get some other. Let's see here. So Knox is going to be gone for what? 6 extra days? 5 extra days?
7.
7 extra days. Another extra week. Okay. So you're going to be coming back a little later. Realigo, what do you think you'd be doing during this time? Oh, so Hobbs, before you got on, what we were talking about is that today we're going to do the training. We're going to do some of the role playing scenes that you guys have to play out. We're going to play through this. Druin wants to track down that smuggler and try and expose the smuggler and to try and get a discount on his fighter training. And it seems like Calidor does as well too. So I'm interested to see what the how this sort of plays out with Calidor knowing the guy's a smuggler and then deciding to kind of fuck the guy over.
I'm trying to decide how Elanion feels. I don't think he even understands what smuggling is.
Interesting.
Yeah, it depends how long he'd been out of the, the wild, because it's not really a concept.
The whole concept of tariff on imported goods sounds, and then bypassing that, it just doesn't sound like anything he really give a shit about.
No, and like the stuff, because like weapons are so ubiquitous in the yeomanry too. It's not like, you know, you're trying to keep weapons out of the hands of serfs or something like that here. Everyone has a weapon because they sort of like, there's this constant standing army of everybody. So it's not like, you know, they're smuggling weaponry. It's got to be something else. Jeff, do you have any thoughts on why Calidor, like what happened between him and Darren Ardeeds that would lead Calidor to actually want to screw this guy over?
I think it's just like the high cost of the training.
Just business.
Charging him. It's like, yeah, a little bit. It's like he doesn't feel the price is fair that he's paying for training, and so you know, to take some back from him, like it feels like it's his money kind of that he's taking back from him. So.
And I think that he, let's see here. I think he's the type of smuggler who kind of like hides out in the open as well too. Like he's so big and boisterous, and he dresses so flashy as well. I think it's sort of, you know, the what's his name, Hondo from Clone Wars and Rebels. Yeah. And let's see here. Yeah.
Right, like he's not even trying to be.
No, he's not even trying to be subtle whatsoever. He just, he's hiding fresh out in the open.
And Druin's more like, oh, he's violating the law.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so he is. Yeah, he sort of like, you know, buys drinks for everyone for everybody when he's in town. But yes, of course, he with a smile and a, you know, a little bit of implied threat. He definitely charges you every time that you come in, Calidor. You're learning. Exactly. You're learning here, boy. You're learning. These are pearls I'm giving you. Pearls you must be picking up, and pearls don't come free.
You're right. They do come with a price.
They do. They do. You have your gold, yes?
Of course.
Good. Payment up front, please, and then carry that crate. You'll be learning quite a bit from carrying crates for the next 2 days.
Of course.
Yes. Pay attention.
I'm taking Maximilian Earthen Grasp. Sorry, I didn't know you were still role-playing this douche.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. We're kind of fucking around, so... I get a sense that you guys are going to be seeing this guy, so we're finding his voice right now. So that's, I guess, why, you just got sick of him, you know, just getting, you know, just working like a dog while you're paying money to do that.
Well, he's got like one over on me basically all the time, and so this is my chance to sort of get him back, right?
Oh, that's cool. So you don't even think it's like fair play. This is just sort of the rogue's life. Okay.
Well, and I'm like, so what's the discount that I'm getting? Like, it's a couple hundred gold or something, right? Like, it's not like
it's half price.
Half price on your level.
Half price on your training.
Gold.
450 gold. Like, it's
on your fighter training. Yeah.
It's
huge.
A big payday, basically, for me.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So Elanion would be meditating for 2 weeks for his training, right, to hit level... Oh, and actually, Knox, yours is only 2 weeks and then 1 extra week. So, to be honest, you're actually reaching back to town at the same time as everyone else. And Hobbs, what I was saying to the guys before you got on, too, the part of the reason, like, in addition to giving you a chance to get a discount on the... you know, on the training, one of the reasons that we've got these sort of side quests is, for one, to indulge in side quests, you know, as we go, and also to give a little extra XP for those people like yourself who are just shy of bumping up to the next level.
Correct.
Yeah, so we can just get that, get your XP, and then you and Rilgo could still have time to do your second round of training, and then, whether you have the money for that or not is another question.
Well, if Druin's going to save 450 on his fighter training, he can probably pay back Elanion the 170 gold he borrowed last time around.
Wasn't there some dispute on that amount?
Not really. I just made up a number.
Okay.
I think he added 80 gold. He was like 250. I'm like, what?
That's
Well, he
great.
did claim it was interest.
Yes.
From interested parties. I mean.
Yes. I don't know anything about smuggling, but usury, I'm all over that. Okay, so
All right, so I picked. Is it Maximilian's Earthen Grasp is 2nd level, right?
yeah, and you automatically. Oh no, hold on. That's that. There's one you automatically learn, and then you also get a chance to learn a second one. So. The ones that you can learn, Hobbs, you can pick any elemental spell or earth elemental spell from levels 1 or 2.
I don't know if there are any others.
There are actually, yeah. If you check what is it, volume 4 of the companion, I'll tell you which ones are oath spells here. Oath. Oh, you know what? Someone on Twitter was looking for. They're like, can we find a more interesting wild magic surge result? And I know there's one in here too. That's pretty crazy. So level 1 is, oh yeah, you know what? There is only one, Fist of Stone, which you already know. So level 2 is Fool's Gold, Pit, Maximilian's Earthen Grasp, or Stone Sleep. So you can automatically... Pit, it does exactly what it sounds like. It's on the tin.
Create a pit?
Creates a pit. Yeah, 1 second here.
Nice. That's cool.
That's like being chased and just go, hit behind you. Oof.
So what Pit
It's
does...
a pit with got spikes in it.
Yeah, let's see.
It's a snake pit.
Pit.
A pit with got spikes in it.
My buddy Spike Pit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Spoik
what he
Pit.
calls it. That's in his show.
Yeah.
That's your alter ego.
That's funny.
Oh no, there's
That's actually no. It's a
Talent.
buddy of ours from the Ash game. I mean, Hobbs, you knew him from before, but so Pit is a level 2 spell, 60-yard range. This spell conjures a circular pit 20 feet across and 20 feet deep within the range. Pit forms only in earth, sand, clay, loam, mud, or similar soft soil. The spell fails if it's used on natural or dressed stone. If the creature creates a pit under an opponent or directly in front of a fast-moving opponent, the intended victim is allowed a saving throw versus spell. Success means the opponent avoids the pit. Stationary or slow-moving targets who fall in suffer 2d6 damage. Running or charging characters suffer 3d6 if they fall in.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
I feel like it has a lot of utility.
It definitely does. The pit sides are steep but not unclimbable, giving 2d4 rounds. Any creature can scramble free, although creatures with special climbing abilities can get out in a single round. It lasts until 6 creatures have fallen in or until dispelled. As the spell ends, those in the pit are returned to ground level.
That's pretty cool.
That's pretty
It's a
awesome.
pretty awesome spell, yeah.
What
that
happens
a-
to the dirt?
What's that?
What happens to the dirt?
What do you mean?
It's magically displaced to a pocket plane.
Yeah, it
and then
magically
it
displays.
returns.
It's pin
Yeah,
particles.
the elemental plane of Earth, maybe.
Yep. A pocket dimension. It's magic.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Midi-chlorians?
Midi-chlorians.
Maybe they're like into your pockets.
Okay, so
Now
it is.
you weigh as much as like a giant
I
pit
think
of earth.
I think it goes into the wand of encumbrance, and then when you shoot it at someone,
Yeah,
it fills
shoots
their
it, yeah.
pockets with dirt.
I like that.
All right.
All right,
so,
yeah, I'm gonna choose to try to get pit.
Okay, so go ahead and whatever your intelligence is, what?
16?
16.
Nice.
So that's I can't remember what the percentage. is.
70%?
Okay, and then plus 25 from your
95%?
95%. Pretty fucking good. Here we go. Big money. Come on.
Yeah, but
Nice.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. And then it's 1d, let's see here, 1d2 times 2 is how many days it takes for each of those spells. And then, yeah, and then it will take up,
2d2 times 2. Oh, 4.
there you go, so 4 days. And for spell or pages in your book, it'll be 4 plus, it'll be 2 plus 2d6. That's how many pages it takes up.
So, I don't think I did that for any of my other spells.
Now, we just, George just rolled his tonight. Same with Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I only
had
looked
a lot
up
of spells because I didn't know there was going to be a limit on them like that. So I'm like, I'm learning all the spells in my spell book.
What's your character's strength?
Oh, 16?
Yeah, see, you're fine. Both of you guys, the real reason you guys are so brawny is because spell books weigh 20 pounds each. So
Right.
So that 6 is plus 4, so it took 10 pages or 8?
6 plus 4, that's right. Yeah, so it's 10 pages. So whatever, like one of them, actually one of them's a lot less too. One of them's 3 pages, one of them's 7 pages, and you can figure out which is which. I only mention that because you've got a notorious prankster in your group who now knows erase.
Yeah.
Steve, we're talking about you.
I think he knows
Sorry,
that
what?
Elanion does not have a sense of humor.
We were talking about you.
Right. Totally.
Okay, so then let's do this, guys. Let's back up and do the scene.
You might
where
have a better plan, taking out like menus at the restaurant and things like that. Things on the public bulletin board, up on.
So, when would you guys plan on meeting with Lord Carmen?
We probably should have met with him before we got into all our training.
Well, and we can sort of jump back and forth. There's nothing really turning on. Well, it may also inform some of the other things you want to get done next.
Yeah, well, Druin was thinking we'd go to see Lord Carmen right away,
Sure.
mainly because we already told people in Harleton, and if someone floats in from Harleton and word gets to Lord Carmen and it's not from us, it doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
That we're telling the locals and we're not telling him.
That's
True.
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so then let's refresh our memory as to what Darius Carmen looks like. There he is. So you guys have. We're backing up a little bit here, and you guys had come riding in from Harleton with that wagon full of your loot, and then and as you guys are making your way through town, let's take a look at what Milbourne looks like as well too. You're going to the mansion as well.
Let's just rename this place Halfbridge.
Yeah, really. Okay.
Does cantrip take up pages in my spellbook?
Cantrip does, yeah.
That's crap.
I know. Such a shit spell too. Oh, you know what? Speaking of which, I do want to. I'll see if I can find the electronic copy. But there's those. Someone had suggested, a listener had or viewer had suggested some optional cantrip rules out of an old Dragon magazine from the 90s, and they're actually pretty fucking good. Yeah, it basically converts it to being like a proficiency instead. Then you get a certain amount of you can use it without penalty, and then once you go past a certain amount of castings, it reduces it. But it's pretty good.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so you guys are heading up to the mansion, and as you go, I think that probably he actually comes out. Well, hold on, would he be? Nah, he's too busy. Once again, you guys are making your way up towards the front door, and I think what you see is his butler guy or his manservant is kind of like looking out the window as you guys are to sort of see what the commotion is. Because you can picture like any kids and probably like Rendemus and some other looky-loos. This is still summertime, so there's probably quite a few miners who are in town. Everyone's and some farmers who are in. And having heard what you guys were going out to do, I think everyone's been quite eager to see you return. Especially with the the last time you guys left, there was that farm that was being auctioned off because of it was lost to the new mire as well. So there's this crowd outside as you guys arrive, and you make your way up towards the mansion, and you find the door is open before you even have to knock, and his manservant is there, and he nods to you all and gestures, "Please come in." And you're brought inside, and you have to kind of wait in the foyer for a few minutes, and then. And you get the sense that Carmen, from past experience with Carmen, it may not he's not the type to make you wait for no reason. Like he already knows what his position is, which is he's got more power and more money than you guys. But he's also the kind to be, if he's in a specific task, he's going to finish that before he meets with you guys. So you wait for about 5 minutes, and the surreal I guess, feeling of having been in the Patchwork Hills and in Heathertop Warren for the last like week and a half to suddenly be waiting around in this rich guy's, hallway. Yeah, it's likely a bit of a extreme contrast. And then you see the door open, and you see Carmen is up and says, "Please come inside." He said, "Here you have news for me."
Druin was just about to go ping on one of the vases to see how sturdy it was. But
yeah,
he
so you're about to touch
back.
that. So he sees you. Don't touch that, dwarf. Come in. Come. So you guys are led into his study, and once again, like the study is, it looks like it is a fairly nicely used or fairly nicely appointed area, but it's clearly used. Like the desk has a lot of stains and chips and stuff like that, or scratches on it where it's been used quite a bit. There's that massive bookshelf that's full of accounting for the Carmen mines, and he gestures to those worn sofas for you guys to sit down again. So, how? Are you the only ones who survived, or did you all make it back again?
We've all made it back.
Excellent.
The
Excellent.
others are taking care of some of our stuff.
Your stuff. And the task I set you to. How is that?
We believe we did it.
Malfeshnikor no longer threatens the Patchwork Hills, and we believe the swamp will recede.
What's a Meshfernokor?
An ancient enemy that you didn't realize you had.
That I had?
We all had. Everyone had in this entire region.
Over dramatic elves. It was the bottom of the Tor. There was this
The
demon
bottom of
chained
the
up.
Tor. For what I'm paying, I think I expect a better explanation. Dwarf, go. And you can feel free, David. We don't need to roleplay through the whole. If you want to, we can. If all you want to do is sort of hit tell me the specific points that you include in your story, we can just do it that way too. Your
a little
preference.
bit of extra tactical knowledge in there because it's important.
Yeah. Okay, so what is it that you include then in your explanation? You guys can feel free to add stuff in as well too. The rest of you guys.
Cool. Well, I think the question would be: is there anything that we don't want to add?
All the loot that we found.
That's good.
But they were strangely bereft of any magic items. It was so weird.
There were certainly far less than we would expect.
I think if it wasn't expressly said, it was implied that you guys have full rights of salvage for whatever you find.
I think it was. I think it was said.
Yeah.
That's standard.
Yeah, he didn't.
Standard agreement.
So yeah, we tell him that we
right,
cleaned up the goblins.
I was going to say, I don't know if there's any reason to say that it was an ancient elven thing and all this stuff about the back of the elves. Just saying that it was a demon that was threatening before the time of men or something like that.
Oh, I wasn't saying it was an ancient elven thing. I was saying you're going on and being mysterious because you're an elf.
No, I realize that is what I was doing, but I was just saying that if there's anything that we weren't going to say, that would probably be one that wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah,
right.
Really go start singing. It was some ancient elven thing. It was 1,000 years old.
Elanion knows a lot. Okay, so he
Kalidor shot the goblin twice, once right through the eye.
So So the gist, I think, of what he's taking is that you think that the goblin threat is defeated.
And that the
What?
dog
Look at this!
The dog problem is gone.
Hot diggity
Oh,
damn!
man.
Look at this!
Yeah.
He has returned.
Yes.
Dude, he can't hear us.
Sweet.
I can't hear you.
Oh.
Hold on.
That's okay.
Here.
And he can't
Bergour,
hear
you
us.
gone down. Oh, I knew something was wrong.
Hey! Arlen, welcome back, buddy.
This is not the
good
welcome
to be
I
back.
got.
No.
We were like, oh fuck.
I was eating dinner and watching you guys play, and then I was like, it's pretty silly. I have to join in and at least be, there for
Awesome.
part of it, however much I
Yes.
can be there for and all that sort of stuff. So yes, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
I like the
How you doing, man?
Bergour cosplay too.
Yeah,
All-
the quarantine haircut this is about 2 weeks after it was the shortest, so it was way down
Wow.
for
Oh,
a while.
jeez.
Wow.
If I didn't have photos of myself the last time I shaved my head to serve as a deterrent, it's exactly what I would have done. Turns out I have a flat spot right at the back of my head. So,
Yes,
All
I have
right.
a point.
so what? Just to bring you up to speed. Oh, first off, Bergour, congratulations on hitting level 4.
Oh man, I knew I had it in me.
So let's do this. Bergour, go ahead and give us a 2d10 roll. And then, that'll be and then lower your Thaco by 1.
But we haven't gone hunting. We will go.
10.
Mhm.
Nice. 10 hit points. Well done.
Sweet.
Oh god, and plus your con bonus is insane, right?
My con bonus is +4, so yeah, 14 hit points.
Good lord.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Okay. So then you also gained. We have it in chat, I think. Once all the
Yeah,
loot was
it's-
divided last time,
It's
Bergour ended up with 1,153 GP.
1,153.
Yeah, and then it'll.
All right.
And then you're going from. Are you 3rd or 4th level right now? 3rd going to 4th, right?
Third going to 4th.
3rd going to 4th. Okay, so then that will be, 3 weeks of training, and it'll cost you, 900 GP.
900, yeah.
However, you guys are about to do. Yeah, Dave, go ahead.
Good thing you're here. We're going to go and hunt down that snuggly guy who's daring our deeds for Rendemus, and that's going to save us 50% on our fighter training.
Nice.
So it'll only cost you 450.
Dorman's not too happy about it. He stormed off, and he's over at the end. But
Yeah. John had overtime that he had to work tonight, so but it also happily he's like, "Nope, I'm having no part of this."
Calidor, on the other hand, is like, hey, it's payback time for Calidor.
Mm. Oh, nice.
Like
Yeah, you get that. The cloak.
That's amazing.
Okay. You have an elven dagger and a wand of earth. You can identify both. Right. So we got. We're in the scene right now, Arlen, with Lord Carmen, talking about what what you guys discovered in the thing, and after he hears everything you guys have had to say, and it sounds like you are downplaying the fact that it's elven ruins. You're just saying it's ancient ruins, and that within there was this demon. Is that what I'm hearing?
And
I
goblins,
think so.
lots of goblins.
And lots of goblins. Okay.
And a bugbear.
Yes. Are you leaving in the fact that you did not kill the bugbear?
Yeah, why even we don't even mention the bugbear. But I
Okay,
think we
go.
could say that we believe that the goblins are being given people by they're getting them from other places, like from the rift or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess the question he has at the end of it is, so it's, he defeated the demon. That's great. If you say that the goblins are all dead or scattered, and the dogs are all scattered as well, that the defeat of this thing, that's going to, I guess, like, how do you just say that we found a demon and we killed it, or do you give an explanation as to, like, what confidence you have that it's actually destroyed?
Well, that was
We
one thing
destroyed
that I
it.
was thinking about between sessions, is we killed the demon, so it's gone from this plane as of right now, from what we know. But the elves were worried that they didn't imprison it or something. We never got a chance to put the collar on it before we killed it and sent it to another realm. So maybe it comes back, but we don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think the theory was, right, that the elves couldn't kill it at the time because they were involved
They-
in the whole war.
They'd lose
Right.
all the spirits that had been taken, but we
Yeah.
freed them, those spirits. So
Yeah.
So, yeah. But the demon could still get summoned by someone else and be back on this plane and have knowledge of us killing it. So
Yeah.
That
I
is
think
true.
that can happen anytime. So I mean that.
but I think that's why we were supposed to use the collar and we didn't. That's on Druin though. So.
Okay. So,
But we also are going to tell them about the landslide cave-in thing and how there's water pooling in the bottom, and that might be part of what's causing the issue with the mire expanding. Is that maybe the natural water flow in the land is somehow messed up, and that's not what we think
but that's not
controlled
magic.
by Goblin?
My diviner told me that it was magic and that it was not evil magic. So what magic? If you can't point me to what magic caused this and how you have stopped that, then it seems you have left your task unfulfilled.
No, we did kill a Elanion, would an earth elemental type creature within the pool?
Well, they were water elementalists as well, right? The goblin was.
Yeah.
He is dead.
Okay.
You're
But there was
saying-
also an earth elemental creature in the collapse that I fought and nearly killed all of you escaping.
And this is the thing that was the cause, the source of all of this flooding?
We think it was the goblin,
But again,
goblin elemental.
my diviner assured me that this was not evil. Unless this goblin is dramatically different from the ones you've described facing, it seems that it would not be the one that was the source of this magic. It's Carmen being stern, not Kev, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we saw nothing else, no other potential sources down in the cave.
What if it was one of the wands? It was the earth elementalist magic that.
Arlen, what were you trying to say?
Well, I was going to add that the whole kind of ancient ruins was sort of suffused in magic in a lot of ways. And so whether or not the goblin himself was evil, it seems like there was a lot of non-evil magic around that he may have been drawing upon or using in addition to his own kind of nefarious purposes.
Interesting you said that. Guys, was there something else that had a water rune on it that we've brought up before?
Oh, that ring. The ring that we haven't identified that was marred.
The ring with the crack imperfection in the metal and a symbol of water
Yes.
from
That
Section
one.
32, and a broken clasp.
Also known as the Ring of Forgetfulness.
Yeah, exactly.
Forgotten ring.
Exactly. Oh,
Well, we
geez.
still have, yeah.
And
still
the
have
evil
some-
goblin was wearing that.
Correct. Though
Yeah.
I think any of you guys can see at a glance when you compare the craftsmanship behind Dorman's new short sword and that ring, that it's clearly not of goblin make.
Okay. So we can be quite confident that we've stopped the problem then.
How? You don't know what that ring does.
Oh, right. So that was not one of the things that's been identified yet.
So, and I'm picturing
It
this
was
is
being-
like this is happening. You guys are bringing it out and being like, "Oh yeah, no, we got this ring and this rune. It says water on it," and he's just like looks at it and like, and
Well, it was being worn by one of the enemies.
can you tell me what this ring does then, sorcerer? You?
It was It was the thing that was causing all the problems, and now it's dealt with. Feel good about that.
Let's see. What's Elanian's charisma?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not trying to bluff.
10. Am I bluffing?
Yes.
I truly believe this is what's going on.
So are we trying to steal now? Is like really goes like making like psychic eye contact with the rest of the gang. He's like, "Are we trying to steal?"
So-
Get out here.
Elanian, you are like, as an elf, you're clearly older than what this guy is. He's a human. Their lifespans, have the duration in comparison to you to like houseplants. you know. However, when you deliver your line of like, no, this was the source of the magic, and he looks at you, you can't help but feel like a child that's been caught in a lie, because he's just fixed this like steely glare on you, and you're like, or so we suspect. So he's like, You sheepishly take the ring off from the table.
So we need to take this to. Are you guys
Well, I could try to identify it, obviously.
over the next couple of days, or while you're
Yeah.
The
traveling?
idea of you
training?
casting it over and over again and being so sick. Oh, just,
Exactly.
hold on, just give me a second.
It's not pleasant.
No. Okay, so then what? I mean, what he's going to be satisfied that you, if you can come up with an explanation as to what the hell this ring is. He's not. He's first off very grateful that you've defeated the goblins, and he's going to pay you.
can
anyway.
tell.
Yeah. he's sort of that, like, you know, remember the dad from the Wonder Years who has like just varying degrees of angry? That's kind of
Yeah.
him.
So what's it going to take? We need to if we verify what this ring does, and this is actually the problem, then we're good. We're clear.
Says, I am no wizard. You tell me.
We'll take care of it. We'll come back. But we just wanted to also get into town and let you know that we're back, so that you didn't hear from some hooligan in Harleton that, you know,
No.
the goblins have taken care of.
Don't mistake my insistence on ensuring that we know the cause of the new mire. The new mire has caused me great consternation and a great loss of wealth. I want to be certain that this is done. However, I am enormously grateful for your actions in dealing with the goblins and this ancient threat. Do you think there is any further threat to be found within those ruins? Any further? Any confederates of this demon?
We don't believe so, but it's possible that the ruins do extend deeper, but I do not believe the goblins made their way that far.
And this demon, what? You feel that this was the source? This is what drew the goblins so far from the Great Rock Dale?
Indeed.
And what of this? Well, I guess, did you guys share anything about that, like the connection with the orcs of the Thornwood with them?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I think we should.
So
Good idea.
yeah, so then he says, this is, what do you make of this then? If there is this shared elixir between them, what does that portend for Heronshire? What does it portend for my lands?
Do we want to give him one? We've got like a couple of them, I think.
You got another
We'll
one
figure
off
it out.
of... Yeah, there was one of them you got off of that, the goblin with the flame blade.
Yeah.
And then you also, I think, found at least one. How many were in... I know Rilligo drank some of one.
Mm-mm.
That was the 4 glass vials with the strange smelling cap sealant thing.
I think so.
Yeah, we've got that down in the party loot. That's not.
Yeah, because the other ones were in
Fiery.
clay vessels, weren't they?
Yeah.
The goblin things, yeah.
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 So.
Okay. So
I'm gonna put
then...
fishy.
Yeah. So what else? What do you call it? I guess, is there anything else you want to tell him or ask of him?
Does he have further work for us right now?
At present, no. Though, what would you do with these ruins then? Do we need to seal them off? Do we need to bury them? Ensure no others go in? Or has it been cleansed of this taint now that the demon is gone?
Well, not much is going to want to go in there for a while, I can tell you that. But I must say it is spacious. It has been crafted very nicely. The walls are actually fairly well kept. I mean, there's a lot of space in there. I think it'd be real waste just to sort of shut it down. And that's some decent real estate.
Rilgo's gonna sell it to him for 150 gold
Yeah.
per square foot.
It is my land. But
Yeah. I think it's a great opportunity for you. You know, I think you should investigate it and maybe pay some people to clean it out. We might be available for that, and I think you could convert that into some maybe a hotel. I don't know, sort of some sightseeing, haunted tours.
We just kind of shake our head and say,
I will take what you say in consideration, Bard. And he looks at the rest of you and kind of like, what is wrong with this one?
it does make a very good tactical place for, location southwest of here. But
speaking of regions, I've heard tell of bird folk. Geralt tells me that there are some strange inhumans, bird creatures, who have taken up residence in the Patchwork Hills near the Thornwild.
they're a crow.
Is that the word for them? I do not. I hear as well that these... Do you know if these are hostile? I wish not to have my goblin problem replaced by yet another inhuman threat.
Serene seemed to think that they were not a problem, but they were being beset upon by a pack of gnolls, which could be a problem.
Gnolls?
That's what Serene had said.
Are they in league with the orcs and the goblins as well?
We better hope not, but it wouldn't hurt to check it out and make sure they're not a problem too.
I may have more work for you then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any lunch?
I will ensure so that something is brought for you. I, of course, cannot... am far too busy to sup with you. But you will eat the finest that the Baron has to offer. I'm certain that your friends there will be welcome or be glad to see you again. Wonderful. In recognition for your achievement with the goblins, we will pay you full. However, I will expect that in light of this trust I am placing in you, you will bring me proof that it is what you say, this little ring is a source of all of our troubles.
That's fair.
That's totally fair.
Then, I thank you. And he calls in his manservant, gets some money, pays you guys, and has the manservant send a message over to the Baron as well, too. So you guys will have your accommodations for a week paid for, and you'll have a fine meal tonight.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Okay. So, what we know is that you guys need to complete about 3 weeks of training. Arlen, before you got on, we were talking about what everyone's doing and when. Knox and Elanion would be able to stick around. Knox and Religo kind of went out to Thurmaster. They killed about 3 weeks out there and came back. Your training and Calidor's training. Okay, well, here's, I guess, there's a couple things. A couple ways we could do this. Druin and Calidor are doing their rogue training and cleric training in the first 3 weeks. And then Druin is on. If what you want to do is get the discount, you may have to wait until and do your training with the other guys. And the other thing we said too is that we'll let you count the XP, because I think you said you're like on the cusp of 5 as well, right?
Yes, I am at 1599 or 15999.
Oh fuck. Okay, so that's what I was saying is the purpose of this. Why don't we do this? You'll do your training now at on half price. You made a pretty good impression on Rendemus before, with the expectation you'll complete that task, and then we'll do this smuggling thing, and then if you get XP from that, you'll be able to do the rest of your training for level 5.
Cool.
Yeah, and that way Elanion, Religo, and Bergour can all get your next levels. I don't know if Calidor or Knox or Druin have enough to get to the next level as well.
No.
No?
No.
Druin.
Okay.
Druin's 2,500 out for fighter and almost 4 for priest.
Perfect.
So, I have a question, Kev.
Of course.
I'm assuming that I'm spending money on, things for my training, even though I'm not paying someone.
Yeah, it's incense and like precious stones and things like that.
Do I have a way to get it cheaper?
You do. Let me think about that. We're about to take our. I don't know if you guys can hear, but Anna's actually whining at me. So it's again the canine, alarm clock here knows that it's our mid-session break. Let me think about that.
Already. Well,
Yeah, I know, time flies. Let's take our mid-session break now. Let me think about that, and I'll come back and give you an idea of what the training might be. I think. Oh, you know what I'll do? No, Hobbs, I'll let you. You've been given that vision of that stone, right?
Yeah.
If you find the stone.
Oh boy, nice, thanks. We already know where the stone is. It's like in 10th level hell.
No. You found. You have a vision of one of them that stands out in the open, and you found its twin in the ruins of the underneath Heathertop Warren. Those are different things.
It's in the middle of the thing that has all the bad people.
That could be anywhere in Heronshire. What you described. Is it the forest full of undead? Is it the forest full of
No, I thought we were told that it was in the rift area.
Yeah, what you described is a location in the southern part of the Great Rock Dale.
Yeah, the Great Rock Dale, isn't that like where all the demi-humans live, or humanoids?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. 10th level hell.
At least for these level characters. Once we get a couple more levels, we'll have to bump that up.
There's always prostitution.
Yep.
What?
now you're thinking like a champ, bro.
That's
Right.
Now you think
All
of like
right.
a bar.
So guys, let's take our
Like,
break
what?
now, and then we'll come back and check in with chat, and then we'll go on with the actual adventure for tonight. So back in a moment.
Hey, Steve.
Yes.
Since Knox and Elanion are now off the chat, I just wanted to point out that, if you have an erase spell and they have all these extra spells in their spell books,
Yeah.
they need to make some space. That Rilgo can do that for
I
you for a
smell
nominal
opportunity.
fee.
Exactly. Yes. Perfect. I like the way you think. Are you there, Hobbs? You're gone, eh? Yeah.
BRB.
Arlen, welcome back. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Hey, would you like to take a look at a little project I'm working on? I'm sort of working on a concept for a little role-playing game. One time, Jonathan asked me if what kind of role-playing game I'd like to lead or sort of DM, and I thought about it, and then all of a sudden, the past month and a half, I've been a bit inspired. So I'll send you this little strange monstrosity that I'm working on that could be fun if I can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. Do you? I have your email, I think, in our collective emails. That we,
Yeah.
What you been up to?
You know, quarantine stuff.
Oh yeah. I know about
It doesn't change much, so.
Yeah. Man, I've discovered a lot of things. This is really working for me. I've got like audiobooks going. I'm trying to get a little routine in a day. I've started watching classic boxing matches. Like YouTube is just stuffed with ancient boxing matches. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And great idea, by the way. Watch Duran fights. They're incredible. That's my advice.
Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot of modern or classic boxing, although I like boxing movies a lot. But I watched a couple of years ago the Muhammad Ali and the Rumble in the Jungle one.
Oh yeah,
Frazier,
right?
Was it?
Yeah. Was it Fraser? No, it was Foreman.
Yeah, Foreman. That's right. And then I read if you're a fan of sports writing at all, you owe it to yourself to read
Hunter S. Thompson. No.
Well, Hunter S. Thompson's a lot of fun too, but it's The Fight by what's his name, who wrote Norman Mailer. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why I couldn't think of. But it's about that fight, and it's brilliant. Norman Mailer is interested in a lot of things, including himself, to the degree that
Sure.
nobody else is, of course. So his writing kind of
It helps.
has some of that. So that stuff isn't as interesting, but the actual description of the fight is excellent. It's a really insightful watcher and writer, in addition to, having a talent for words, all that. So
Cool. Thank you.
yeah.
Dave, I'm just saying, if you're looking for something to do, man, I strongly recommend watching classic fights between all the best boxers in history. Holy shit! Like how have I not been doing this? I've been doing one a night or more, and I've just been going through all the classic boxers and watching all their fights. It's like, wow.
Not really my thing though. I'm a
Oh, isn't it? Oh, that's too bad.
no.
Okay, never mind.
I'm big on football and hockey, but yeah.
I want to watch some classic hockey games too. I want to watch some 80s Edmonton games.
I actually loaded up a new game on Steam today and bit into that really hard, and it's been pretty fun. It's called Northgard. It plays a little bit like Age of Empires, but all the settlements are Norse, and each clan has their own like bonuses and changes and different things. But you've got to take over an area, and it's got like a rigid outline to it, so it's kind of weird in that sense. It's almost like a board game, but after you defeated the enemies on that territory, then you can settle that territory, and then you can build buildings on it and expand your holdings and stuff like that. But you also have to manage like your cost, your cash, and your resources. In that sense, it's different than like Age of Empires, where you just got a regular flow of income. There's like costs and things like that. So you're like, oh crap, I'm losing all my money. Oh, my guys are upset. Or
What game is this, Dave?
It's called Northgard.
Northgard, okay.
Yeah, and so one of the scenarios I was playing this afternoon, a freaking blizzard hit in the wintertime, and my people were all like really unhappy, and I wasn't making enough food, and then they started starving, and I was like, oh crap, this is terrible. I should just stop and try again. I'm a terrible leader. My people are freezing and hungry, and the wolves are coming, and
So say howdy, Brian. Howdy, Iwawa. Howdy. Iwawa wants to know if Knox still has the hip injury. Oh, right, from the last thing.
Yeah.
We're all limping. Yeah, I've got some leg problem.
I think everyone. Yeah. Cameron, howdy. Oh, George was in and then gone. Howdy, George.
Druin has escaped.
Thief will screw another thief. Aspect, what's shaking?
Knock on wood.
I see.
You should play my game, Dave.
Hey, thanks, Gun Monkey. Gun Monkey says, great channel, been watching past episodes all day and enjoy the nostalgia. Well, thank you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Appreciate you joining us. And we
I
had
would be enjoying the nostalgia more if I'd have kept my second edition books, but yeah.
Hey, you and me
I
both,
gave mine
brother.
away too.
Pawned them off for pennies on the dollar, and now I'm killing myself because I didn't keep any of them. I'm like,
Was it to someone like privately, or was it to Pendragon?
No, it was someone privately. I just
okay.
got rid of them. It was before Kijiji. I think it was like part of a garage sale or something. It was stupid.
Oh no, yeah, I know those. Yep.
Yeah,
Shoot.
there's a box of D&D books. You want to buy them? It's like $20. I'll give you the whole thing. I'll
Yep.
never use these again.
Yep.
Never.
Yep.
I remember there was one year at Gen Con where they were just clearing out the TSR warehouse, and it was already middle of second edition. Let's see, it'd be 93, yeah. And they were selling, Kevin, you'll appreciate this, they were selling all of the first edition books, including the Wilderness Survival Guide, brand new, pristine, $2.
Fuck.
Oh!
Yeah, and I had stacks and stacks. And nobody wanted them. So I remember I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That was.
I
was
had a really nice copy of Unearthed Arcana. Like it was like almost brand new. Terrible.
the two copies I've got, my copy of Oriental Adventures and my copy of Wilderness Survival Guide, are honestly fucking brand new. Like when I got them, they were new to me. It was as if no one had cracked the spines even. And I imagine it would have come from something like that. Hobbs, just from the angle that you were looking at, I thought you had a do-rag on for some reason.
I was going to buy some, but I held off.
Better than a toque.
A toque, yeah, exactly. I actually found my, I wear one of those like douche rags for hiking. And I lost it last time we moved, and I found it in this move. So I was like, Jaden, my son, Jaden, look, douchebag's back. It's like, great. Okay. All right. So I think we're all back down. And we caught up on everyone too. Cameron says, sounds like my kind of game. What system did he say it was for? PC or mobile? Dave, what was the game you were talking about?
I bought it off of Steam on PC, but I think it's for multi-platforms. So.
And what's it called again?
What game?
It's called Northgard. It's very similar to like Age of Empires, but kind of more of a Romance of the Three Kingdoms style expansion.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's all Norse, and like I was saying, my third scenario was running a blizzard hit in the wintertime, and you have to like maintain you use more wood and food in the wintertime because the people are eating more and they have firewood to burn to stay warm, and so your resources start dropping at an escalated rate, and my people were freezing and they were hungry, and I'm a terrible leader.
I'd say it's more like, I compare it more to Civ or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys have met with Lord Carmen, and I'm assuming that everyone has started their training. So, Bergour's completed. Now, apart from your extra hit points and your Thaco, is there anything else you get at level 4 as a fighter?
I don't believe so.
Non-
3 was the extra weapon specialization.
Yes. Did you guys know at level 3 is when a warrior's saving throws improve as well?
I don't know.
I think I improved them, but let me double check.
Sure. Saying there are some words, and this will be you too, Calidor.
Yeah, I haven't improved any saving throws for a while, I don't think.
Okay, so let's see here. I'll tell you if any, because the rogue saving throws are pretty good and usually better than a fighter's.
What page is that?
Do not know. I'm on my DM screen.
Oh.
The rogue is better than all of those, so you're already at the optimized place. But Bergour, and Druin, I wonder if it's better than a priest. Yeah, priest has got better. Priest is better in all the categories too, Druin. And you're not going to improve as a priest till you get level 4. But level 3 is a warrior for you, Bergour. Do you have your base save for paralyzation, poison, or death magic at 13?
I do.
And then 15 for Rodstaff Wand?
Yep.
14 Petrification from Polymorph?
Yep.
And 16 for the other two?
Yep.
Then you are, until you hit level 5, level 5 it will improve again.
Sweet. So it improves at 4th level for priest?
Each of them improve at different rates. Like some get kind of front-ended with the improvement. Priest improves at level 4. Rogues improve at level 5. Warriors improve like every 2 levels up until 17. Wizards don't improve until level 6.
So yeah, I'm training level 4, and that's going to make these priest ones better still.
Oh yes, actually they will. Yeah. And if you hit level 4 in priest,
it'll be 9.
Are you level 4 now?
Yeah, that's the first part I'm training while they're doing their wizard stuff.
Yeah. So your Dave, your saves will be. Unless you got it. You have it already?
Yeah, 9, 13, 12, 15, 14.
And those are all better than warrior, so you don't need to compare the two. Okay. So then, guys, talk to me about how you plan to approach this whole Darren Deeds situation. Captain Darren Deeds.
Jeff, can I confirm that the DR on banded mail is 2?
On banded? Let's take a look here.
That's what it's in the house rules?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, banded is DR2. You thinking of upgrading?
Well, if I save 450 gold, I can pay Elanion back and get some banded mail, but I'll have to make sure that the armor has...
Pretty nice. Yeah, no, I mean, the time that you guys are here, they can produce that at the smith.
Okay, well, I'll go get sized and tell them I'll pick them up in a couple of weeks or something.
Nice. Go get sized. It's like Indochino. Just send in your measurements and they'll send your banded mail out.
Yeah, do you do delivery? I'm staying at the inn over here.
Exactly. Does that count as enough to get sponsorship? Come on.
I'll do some ads. I'll do some ads for them.
Yeah. Although your company, that'll cut into your company DR1.
That's all right. My company will still be making chainmail, which is DR1. But
there you go.
Druin will be banded.
So guys, this is going to be about a month in. So this is about a month after you guys started your training. Elanion, you had that vision again of that rose, that rose-colored stone. And I'll let you know as well too, Elanion, if you complete these tasks, some of these ones, because of just how difficult they are, it will give you discounts for multiple levels.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You've had a rough day, Hobbs, so...
He's recognizing it. That's BS face.
It's that look I was mentioning that Darius was giving the other. It's that, Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. There you go. All right, so guys, what do we think leads to the sort of the discussion about this? Probably Bergour, since you were spending the most time with Rendemus, and this is right at the height of the, it's still at high summer, so it's still like there's tons of things coming in, but there seems to be, he's convinced and has his son and you on a careful lookout for evidence of this stuff being smuggled in and smuggled out. And like every bit of stuff that is not properly taxed that comes through here, it comes directly out of Lord Carmen's pocket, and it's going to come out of Rendemus's hide, right? So he's been bitching about this. So this is probably in the span of the month that you guys have been back in town from Heathertop Warren. This is just a daily fucking thing, every time you guys run into Darren Deeds, and he's such a big presence when he's around that it's hard not to be it's hard for him to be ignored. So let's pick up. It's about a month in, and you guys all sitting around the Baron. Some of you guys have completed your first initial round of training. Some of the other guys are going to jump in. What's the thing that pushes this over? And what you may not have seen too, Arlen, is that Jeff has decided that the reason Calidor is ready to fuck him over is because he's sick of paying for training. So
I'm about sick of paying for training too. But no, I think maybe we we found like a shipment or a crate or something like that, something that was like, Rendemus was able to be like, ha, this is proof, and then wasn't able to make anything happen from it. And he is just sure that he had the silver bullet, and now it's somehow disappeared in the bureaucracy or something. So Bergour is thinking like, okay.
Do you think it's something that Deeds was actually rubbing in his face too?
Oh, I'm sure.
That he's just like, oh, you found Oh wait, this is not mine. How's it's so easy. So many things coming in and out, Rendemus. So many things for you to keep track of. So perhaps you're getting too old, eh? And he kind of hits you, Calidor. Perhaps he's getting old, no? No, he's old. You're old. Not mine. Goodbye, old man. And of course, where he's old, he's got big gray beard. And Rendemus is younger than him too, so it's probably just him being an asshole. And that's probably the straw that broke the, he's not been bitching about him, he's just been seething, throughout this stuff. So how does this come up between Bergour and Calidor? Probably have the best connection about this because of Calidor's got the connection to Captain Deeds. Oh, there's a dog out there, careful. That would be the stables and kennel that what's his name operates. Not Deercat, Nafton. And the let's see. I'm just gonna close my door though, because she's working off some steam here. All right, sweetie, it's okay. Oof. So, how do we think this comes up then? So we know that Bergour,
Druin's like being cheap. Druin's like, he's literally counting his gold, and he's like, I'm not going to have enough. I'm going to have to borrow 7 gold from somebody, and I still haven't paid back. There's the only way that I'm going to pay for my training and be able to pay back Elanion is if we do this thing. And then he's like bugging Bergour. It's like, hey, we should do this. We really should do this.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's time for a bit of comeuppance for Captain Deeds.
What's the right thing to do?
Me.
If he's a scoundrel, if he's breaking the law, and Artemis wants it unearthed, then we got to do that. It's the right thing.
Yeah.
I sort of appreciate his fashion.
He's a dapper man.
Well, you can, once we take the shirt off his back, you can wear it.
Not for myself, Bergour.
Not for yourself? You think Bergour ought to wear his shirt?
I think it'll look nice with your elven helm.
I thought it looked nice for him. It matches his hair.
It does.
Maybe we should take those beard clasps, though. Those could come in handy.
Yeah, Druin likes the cut of his jib. So, how does this transform from sort of a rough plan into an action? How do you guys want to approach this? And we're gonna, we'll feel free to kind of approach this from a looser kind of narrative framework here. What are you guys thinking? How are you going to find out? What I can tell you is that Calidor, if you are going to share what you know about his sort of activities, you know that he's got stuff coming in on boats and going out, but he doesn't trust you enough. Like you sort of, yo boy, carry that. Carry it over there. Put it there. That's it. Now come learn more. Are you paying attention? You're carrying. Come. But you don't know where they're. I'm not sure you can really put together, put faces to the boxes that are coming in, because it's different people coming in, and you don't see what the transaction is when they're first being dropped off, and you don't see where they're going afterwards. You do know that there is some kind of cart that you load shit on, and then it goes somewhere to the east of town.
Well, he's not sharing enough with me to give you a clear picture, but I know enough that we could follow his cart and see where it goes.
Yeah, if we maybe follow one of the carts and figure out where the next kind of way station is.
Like we need to catch him in the act, correct, Kev? That's what
Proof, yep. It needs to be proof that he was smuggling.
Right.
So what are you guys thinking? What's the plan here? We got all you guys. This is the twirling or swooping camera around a round table at the thing. This is the Ocean's 11 planning thing. How are you gonna get Captain Deeds?
Really good was using candles and coins and pipes to build little models of hills and stuff where we can do a little ambush.
Nice. Okay.
Well, I mean, we don't have our stealthiest ally with us, unfortunately. We might be able to tail this cart without being spotted.
Calidor's ears are burning. Where did you put your thief points, your skill points?
I put them in. Find traps. And
Just
no, I
definitely good choice.
actually, my move silently and hide in shadows is both 70%. So
That's good. And I meant no disrespect to Calidor, of course. I was just simply referring to Dorman's ability to become invisible.
I'm not sure your
Right.
70 includes the penalty for wearing chain, though.
no, I don't think it does.
Right, because you're wearing chain now as well. So, but what are you guys thinking? How do you want to uncover this guy? And you can feel free to think outside of what the obvious options are here too. You guys can feel free to, ask around town. You can, try and follow him around. You can make use of
Someone
your
must
skills.
know something.
Yeah, I agree. Do we know if he frequents the tavern or?
Well, what
that
you
sort of
guys,
thing?
he does seem to go both here and the silver coin. But remember, the silver
Yeah.
coin tends to be the rougher around the edges type. That caters to kind of like rogues and the boat types who are traveling up and down, and the miners.
Mhm.
So ask no questions ruffians are more likely to be found at the silver coin than they are here. That's actually where most of the Calidor deals with deeds. Is at the.
Do we know what kind of goods he is smuggling? Okay.
You've never seen inside them. He doesn't trust you that
Okay.
much.
Huh.
Does Rendemus have an idea of, or does he suspect anything? Can we start with Rendemus and find out what he suspects?
Well, he suspects that he's bringing in. It's more so that he's bringing in high-value things that are not being taxed. It's not so much that he's bringing in dangerous goods or things like that. It's the fact that these things are not being taxed when they would be taxed, and it would probably be things like, like fine, because from further down river, it's coming closer to the coast, so it'd be things coming in like exotic goods from Hetmonoland and things like that, like from the jungles. So, valuable woods or rare woods would probably be part of that. Spices from farther south in the Lord of the Isles. Like, let's take a look at our
He's a spice runner.
Grey Hawk. Yeah, he's a spice runner, exactly.
And to
The
be clear
spice
with
must
what
flow.
Rendemus wants, it's not enough to just finish off the organization or something. We have to prove that it's him.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't just dump a bunch of his goods into the river until he decides to give up with the smuggling.
No, and also, that would be the sort of fine line here is that if you don't want to cause trouble for merchants passing through here, because if they just decide to sail straight through, that is a bunch of money that's out of the hands of a lot of people's pockets here.
Yep.
Yeah. So remember, you guys are in. Did I move you over, or did I just move myself over? I did move. you over.
I see
See
it.
the world map
Yeah,
now.
we're-
Yeah, so Yeomanry's where you guys are. You're around here. So it's from the Hold of the Sea Princes. It's from down here. It's anywhere else. It's from Greyhawk. It's from the Ulek states. There's all sorts of stuff that'll be coming down and coming in on those along those rivers. So, what
Okay.
do you guys think?
What? So we kind of know what the thing are, but we know none of the people that he interacts with, is what you're saying.
I think that Calidor would recognize some of the like laborers. He's seen people who have been around those things, around like the cart and stuff like that. If you saw the faces, I imagine you've got a pretty good eye for faces, right, Calidor?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
He doesn't
So-
trust any of these people, so he probably try to, learn who they are. So.
Well, and if he's been planning to kind of fuck him over, then yeah.
Yeah, I think this has been brewing for a while.
And it likely is one of these. Hello, sweetie. One of those outlying communities. One of the outlying buildings is probably where he stays. There's the warehouses over here, but he keeps his stuff in one of the, which isn't unusual. Some of the other wealthier merchants, they'll take advantage of some of, like, rent space in people's barns during the busy season. And you think that there's actually something that he's been, he'll store stuff kind of in a wagon, and then the wagon suddenly is gone by morning.
So, how hard would it be to, when the wagon comes in, we hang out where it's stored and watch who takes it?
Mm-hmm.
Or find out what's in it? Or, I mean, how hard would it be to find out what's in it? And then, that's probably what they've done in the past, is they've tried to blame that on him. So you just have to find it when it's taken, mark it somehow, and then when we open it and show them that is the thing that's marked, then you have proof, right?
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Well, and
when you say
where's
the
the
level
money
3
going?
weapon proficiency, do you mean your specialization, or do you mean the one you get from the priest?
No, at level 3, don't warriors get another weapon proficiency?
Yeah, we don't use those. The weapon proficiency rules are I don't like them.
Okay.
Which is why we use the house rules for specialization.
Right.
I think
Okay.
at level 3 is when you get your next specialization, though. So you could just take it in that.
I'll read those up later. We can carry on with this.
So you start with you specialize in 2 weapons at first level, and then you gain a new specialization at 3rd. That's better. You're already proficient in all weapons, so you don't get any further proficiencies as a priest.
Right.
You don't get both. You just get the better of the 2. So what that means is you could take that and then invest it in two weapon fighting.
Okay. I get a specialization for being a specialty priest.
You do?
As part of the kit, and so that was for hand axe, and then battle axe I took as a fighter,
Yep.
specialized.
Yep.
And so then I was thinking that this new slot I would use for 2 weapon fighting to
Well,
reduce the penalty.
you'd still have one more too. Then you got one more proficiency you haven't invested. Because
Okay.
if you get 1 from your kit, you still get the 2 from fighter, and it sounds like you've only put 1 of them into axe. What you could do is put, you get the bonus 1 from. Because I mean, if you spent 2 proficiencies you could make it a broad area and just have specialization in all axes.
Okay.
Okay, and then you would have 1 left over, and then you also get another 1 at 3rd. So what you could have done is put one of your fighter ones into gaining proficiency with all axes, or specialization with all axes. The other one could have gone into the first tier in 2 weapon fighting, and then the new one you got at 3rd could go in to get the 2nd tier at 2 weapon fighting, the specialization. That would give you the benefit of both levels.
Wow.
Yeah. So you would gain, where is it here? Dual weapon proficiency reduces the penalty to attack in both hands by 2. Specialization permits you to use any 2 one-handed weapons while dual wielding. Meaning you
So
can
there
use...
could have 2 battle axes instead of 2 hand axes.
Exactly.
Or a battle axe and a hand axe.
Yeah. So, sorry guys, you were interrupting your planning here. So, what are you thinking? The plan is to ambush this guy, or what?
Well, I mean, we don't have a ton of time, so it's not like we can set up a pretty elaborate ruse to prove that it's his stuff unless we actually catch him with it. Is that what we're saying?
What you need is proof that he's smuggling, and how you guys choose how you guys. I think it's you all can kind of understand what that would require. The risk is that if you can't just start kicking his shit open, because he does, as far as Rendemus can prove, he does pay his taxes otherwise on everything he brings in.
Perhaps I could pick pocket something that would be revealing of his mischief.
And
Like
what do you
what?
think that would be?
Something that is contraband, pick that is on somebody's person around the.
I'm. I'll leave the rest of the players to comment on that.
So Kevin, I have a question. When are the taxes paid on the goods that you bring in? Is it like upon entering the city?
Yeah,
like,
it's basically like because you're making use of the dock, you're paying for use of the warehouses and whatever else. Unless you want to leave your stuff on your boat, unless you want to leave stuff on your boat and you also want to stay in the middle of the river or something like that, you're paying. So it's just sort of a like a bridge toll, but it's by how much you bring past town or through town, as opposed to, yeah.
So the crime would be him bringing stuff into town that he hasn't paid these taxes for at the bridge itself.
Correct.
Yeah.
And how do they designate what's been paid for and what hasn't?
They've got someone who works the docks. Is that the woman that you've seen a few times? She's the one who was working on.
Does she just mark like a tablet, or does she put a mark on the good, or
She marks the good, like she basically marks the goods. Is it Serene? Hold on, no, that's not right.
no?
No, she's
Serene's
the
a
ranger.
ranger. What?
So wouldn't
so what
it be
I'm
enough to...
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
no, you go.
No.
One of you fucking go already.
I was just if you're actually moving the stuff that is contraband for him, isn't that all it would take? Is you open one of these things? Oh nope, this isn't on the list, and now we know it's his contraband.
No, but
I
he
think-
kept saying he didn't trust me, and I've only been moving his legal goods.
Capella, this is the person who does that.
Right.
Well, she looks very untrustworthy herself.
She looks like she could.
A lot of
write
ruffles on those sleeves.
That's right. Those things don't come free.
Hey, if you guys aren't hip to the puffy shirt fashions in Milbourne, you guys are missing out.
No shit, they all like
It is
wearing
true.
white satiny puffy shirts. What's going on in this town?
It's only one person making shirts in this town.
Yeah.
Well, he's
I rescind my comments about Deeds' fashion.
So, what's the plan here, guys?
So the cart that Calidor is moving around, we know that those are legal, or he's just telling Calidor that those are legal.
He hasn't said. He's told Calidor to move boxes. That's the extent of it.
Calendar
Okay.
doesn't know what they are.
Okay.
All right.
And so I know we're not going to try to open them ourselves because that could cause a problem. But if they were to be opened by somebody who picks them up or whatever, and we could see inside, we would be able to tell. This is what Hobbs is asking.
So, Calidor,
Whether they're marked.
so put yourself in your crafty thief mind. If those boxes were opened and there was something in there that where taxes had not been paid, how do you think Deeds would respond?
Those aren't
Well, he
mine.
would,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, he would claim one of his men has put them there or something like that. Or even myself. If I was responsible for moving the box, he would say that I put it there.
Sounds like a reasonable thing. So,
So we need to get somebody who knows more to be caught in something, so that they'll implicate him, and have enough knowledge that Rendemus can say, "Hey, this is a trustworthy suspect," or they have enough knowledge that this is a valid statement.
Yeah, I agree, and perhaps with that eyewitness, they might be willing to go and search his warehouse. The other quick question is: does anybody happen to have a kind of spell that allows them to charm people?
Who needs a spell?
I take it back.
We've got a bard. We got a fast-talking bard.
That's
That's
true.
all we need.
I feel like we're missing something, guys.
The stuff moves out east of town. So do we want to just have Calidor sneak around and see what he can find? And
put yourself once again. Let's put yourself in Calidor in the mind of a clever smuggler. If you don't live necessarily in this town, you don't have a residence where that you can safely hide shit in, or if you've got a lawman who's out for you, how do you think you would handle your store of illicit goods?
Well, I mean, technically, it seems like he could keep them on his ship. Because until he brings them across the bridge, they're not contraband.
Right, but his boat very rarely, he kind of goes up and down the river as well too, but he's been lurking around here quite a bit this season.
So it's like someone else is captaining his boat? Or he'll go out, get his illicit stuff, bring it here and store it somewhere and sell it over
and then maybe make use of other people, yeah.
And wouldn't you maybe try to like move some legit goods while you're moving some contraband?
Yeah, he's got more than enough business as legitimate business as a cover for it. But Rendemus is convinced that he's also got something else on the side. And Calidor certainly knows that there is something seedy. And the way that the training...
Well, he would have to have a secret warehouse or something then, because he can't keep it with his legal goods. That would be too easy for Rendemus to catch him.
And if
So
you're
essentially
in...
He keeps it out of town.
Yeah.
What's that, Hobbs?
Or he keeps it out of town.
Yeah, if you're in a rural area, you know... Jeff, you live in a pretty rural town. You can't hide shit in town. Where do you think you would hide it?
Right, in someone's barn or farmyard.
There's a lot of farms around here.
Right, you need an accomplice.
So what we need to do is find him unloading the shit and then find where his stash is.
So we need to do some recon.
So Kev, when he does business, does he have someone who acts for him, or would he actually be there making the transaction?
He seems to have a fairly extensive network of accomplices he works with. Like, this is part of the problem, is that it's not him going down and being like, unload those things, you know? People show up in town, and it's a person you've never met before who is finished loading these things, and then you'll pick them up and move them, put them in the back of a cart, and there's someone else you haven't seen before who is operating that. And I think just by virtue of your careful eyes, there's been maybe one or two faces you're like, I've seen that one before.
Right.
But otherwise, it seems like there's a lot of people moving up and down. The river extends fairly far, like further into the yeomanry as well, and as well out south. So there's ships coming and going throughout the summer season.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's got a bunch of contacts who are moving up and down around the yeomanry and the surrounding region, then he may not need to rely on one or two people. Although Calidor probably has picked out one or two locals, apart from himself and Dorman, who've been helping out with this.
Well, and that might lead us to another possibility, which is if he's not going to be directly involved, he has to have some way of issuing orders, organizing, all that sort of stuff. There may be something of like a paper trail or a document that we could find to pin it on him, right? That if we can find his, obviously he'll talk to whoever is directly working for him in some cases, at least sometimes, but at least some of the time, if he's got 12 pawns moving all at once, he's got to move 11 of them with written orders and one of them with direct orders, right?
Yep.
Well, and he's not going to trust anyone to not have some record of writ or something as far as when the goods are being sold, that he's going to want a record of it.
So we could just break into his house and steal his ledger, and then we'll be good.
Boom.
Let's just be direct about this.
Right, because we're not gonna catch him red-handed. So
no, we need
one option.
I like this. Let's do like a caper, a good caper. I haven't done one of those yet. Let's do one of those.
So another couple ideas I have is, one, if we could figure out where he's storing his illicit goods, if there was some kind of a threat to them, I think he would show up himself to defend, to protect them or to save them, so to speak.
Start a fire.
Well, or something like that. Like if there was some major threat to his illegal supply, his illegal stash, that might draw him out to defend it. But we still can't prove that they're his.
Poses pirates.
Well, what if we bought some of another option is we could buy some of the illicit things if we could then trace that money back to him. Like if we could pay with a gem or something that is traceable.
Marked bills, marked gems. Okay.
Yeah, like using some kind of magic mark or something. I don't know what magic spells you guys have, but a lot, like you said, does someone have a
Why don't we just do some recon and try and learn a little bit more about his operations before we try to...
That makes sense.
Come up with the perfect plan.
Let's do
Well,
some
Calidor
surveying.
will tell you the hardest the hardest people to spy on are spies.
And I'm a bard, so
I do appreciate your enthusiastic support for every plan, though, Steve. That's great. Yes, this is a good plan. That's also a good plan. Let's do that.
nothing if not fair.
So, we talked a little bit about some options here, and Dave has helpfully listed some ideas here. What's going to happen next, then, guys? We can picture this is all happening over the span of a couple of days. So, what are there any spells or other abilities you guys want to take advantage of?
I will cast armor, and then I will rejig my spells so I have Burning Hands and Magic Missile.
Okay, so you got Burning Hands and Magic Missile. Oof, artillery.
Exactly.
Artillery, roll to go.
I'm gonna do the same. One thing I have to do doesn't have to be now, but at some point I should try to identify some of that stuff that we haven't, including the
Yes.
Okay.
Artillery go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So
I'm happy that Knox is happy to stay behind and just do identify.
does mean he won't get XP.
Well, I will actually from casting the spell. No, I lose con. No, that's true. All right, so I just want to do that before too long. Like,
Yep.
This is going to wind up taking 2 weeks. Like I think I need to. report
No.
back to
I mean,
Carmen.
this is.
Yeah.
You guys want to like if you're gonna do this, let's get your plan in motion here. What specifically are you guys doing then?
I
So you
have
want
the
to start
spell
with the
changed.
tavern?
Oh, only one at a time. It does sound like we got lots of ideas though, so that's great.
I have the spell change self, just FYI. I could use that for following and stuff.
Me too.
Okay.
That's
Change
cool.
self. So is that
So
like
I
a
liked the idea
disguise?
of trying to figure out which farm it is that he's storing stuff at or something, and going around to the farms upriver and or downriver.
What Caldor can tell you is the cart that he used, the one that seems to be gone there, that in the morning. That one seems to be stored in the same place. I can tell you that Rendemus has tried to watch out for it, and it never leaves when he's watching. And it was after 3 or 4 days of him being haggard and tired and up all night, watching this fucking thing instead of doing the job, where he just ended up giving up on that. Though he's not as stealthy as what some of our allies are. So,
I
And
have
it's
an
Rendemus.
idea.
what's that?
I have an idea. What if we try to make the guy who normally takes the cart, who he seems to trust as opposed to Calidor, miss work some way? So someone gets him too drunk, or we do something to him, and he's kind of forced to get Calidor to deal with this other cart that he hasn't been trusting Calidor with.
Or Elanion uses
He's not gonna
himself
do it
and goes
himself.
as the guy.
Well, I
You
wouldn't know
could
where
try
to do
that,
with
too.
anything though. I wouldn't know what to do with anything though. I wouldn't
Right,
know
he'd
what-
say,
Yeah.
"Hey, do your job," and you'd be like, what the hell is my
Yeah.
job?" Whereas if he's forced to say, "Calidor, you got to take this to this farmyard," or I don't know. I just see him as, no matter what, not doing it himself. Like the way he bosses Calidor around and has him do the grunt work, like this guy doesn't lift a finger. There's no way he's just gonna do it himself.
Yeah, and like I said, you will sometimes you can likely recognize one of the people that you've seen operating that cart, but it does rotate regularly.
Oh,
So why
I
don't we
see.
go do some listening at the tavern, see if we can learn something there. Then we can do some searching around town. We can just start doing things.
Just
Can
that cart always leaves from the same place, though, right?
It does.
Can we just have somebody watching? I mean, obviously, Calidor is physically there,
Yeah.
and I have a message. I think a few other people have a message as well. We could do something like that, where Calidor can let us know, and we could watch and follow that person potentially.
So
Something like
Rendemus like I said, Rendemus has tried watching, and it seemed to never leave when he was there. Though again, he's not as incredibly stealthy as what Calidor can be.
Yeah.
So if our,
Right.
if it was clear that no one was there, if he was so silent as said no one being there, then maybe that would help. You guys can also try hiding as well too. Remember, just a refresher, I know you guys all know this, but if you make the way I treat the thief skills, if you succeed in the thief skills, you automatically cannot be detected, even by other thieves. And if you even if you fail that, everyone, I have to make a spot check if you guys are hiding, and that may be modified as well too by circumstances or the things trying to find you. But yeah.
Right.
I say we
If I
watch.
remove my chainmail, I'm almost invisible, or a good chance I am.
Yeah.
So why did we start with that? Because A, you're way better sneaking than him, and 2, you're not him. Like if Rendemus is watching and they know he's watching, they're not stupid. They're not going to move it.
Right, and if they do catch me there, quote unquote, or whatever, like I have lots of excuse to be there. I'm working there.
Yep.
Well, and you're on your day off or your whatever.
Whatever. Well, it's easy to bluff, or at least attempt to bluff, a reason to be there.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my chain shirt, or what? like
Even
leave my chain shirt at work. I took it off to do whatever shitty. So I could do that. I could take it off to do whatever hard labor he's getting me to do during work, and then I can sneak back later. And if caught, say I came back for my chain shirt.
Smart. I like it.
Arlen, you were trying to say something?
Well, I was going to suggest we could even have like a false watcher, essentially. One of us go and be there like Rendemus and then leave at an appointed time and know that that's when Calidor takes over to kind of watch and make sure, so that essentially try to time it so that we know that about when the cart will leave by having somebody there who is obviously watching, who leaves.
That's
and is
brilliant.
No longer.
Mhm.
Right, to watch
Cool
it the whole
decoy.
time my shift happens, essentially, so that it's logical that I'm gone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, I like
Okay.
that.
So
Yeah.
Bergour could even accomplish that.
So we could say that Bergour, while still wearing kind of the whatever it is, like the smock or the clasp or whatever of the town, kind of watch, you're sort of, quite obviously watching this thing, and then like faking nodding off, or perhaps actually nodding off, and then also going back, and then sort of giving up and deciding to call it a night. What is the second part of the plan then? If Calidor isn't spotted and if this thing leaves, what's the next step?
Well, to follow it to its destination so we can learn the location.
But
of the
only
Spora.
one of you is as stealthy as a rogue. Unless Rilligo, are you trained in move silently? I can't remember what the bard skills are.
I have reading lips, local tumbling. Hold on here.
No, it's your bard ability.
Right. It's there we go. Move silently, hide in shadows, detect noise, climb walls, read languages, pick pockets. No.
There you
No.
Oh, no, okay. Yeah. So, it looks like he's the only one who's really that stealthy. And the reason, because thieves have hear noise as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Right.
and that's the reason why, you got to be careful around these guys. But what is the plan? That's not to say that. Do you have another way of getting around that, or are you guys all going to try and just like meet up and then all try and sneak around behind this?
No, I
this
think
wagon?
Calidor's going to follow it and try and discern the location that they take it to, and then once we know the location, we're going to figure out whatever phase 2 is.
Okay, love
Whether
it.
it's sneak in there and examine the goods, or
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Sounds
then
good.
you guys make your way, to this. Rilligo, Knox, Druin, and Elanion, is there anything else you guys want to be doing to help in this caper, or is it Calidor and Bergour who are operating? You guys are kind of at the ready to sort of jump in when needed.
I think I would like.
Bergour lunch.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
Brings him a cheese dog for the stakeout. And Rilligo will put poison on his arrows. Oh yeah, from his poison sacks that he got from the giant snake.
Well, you have not had it. Remember, you need to have that processed by an alchemist.
God dang it.
I mean,
Okay,
hold
never
on.
mind.
You can feel free to just puncture the giant, poison sack.
Bag of poison.
I don't want to stand in the way of
should've
genius here. So.
Exactly.
It's leaking all over your hand. You better lick it out.
Rilligo has all color drained from his face, and the last thing he says is, "Guys."
Knox unfortunately has nothing that would be of benefit to phase 1 of the plan anyway, but he'll be ready for phase 2.
Okay.
And one of the things he's got ready for phase 2 is going to be a web spell in case we need to catch somebody.
Ooh. So, and I think, Bergour, we see you sort of come back into the room, you know. You come trotting in, you walk past the twins who are still operating the main room in the Baron. You head upstairs, and instead of when we see you going in and going to bed, you get in there, and we see the rest of our heroes all arrayed out ready to go. So, then, Calidor. I have rolled, you said you had a 70% chance without chainmail?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you think you put? So this thing is, the cart is sitting probably next to the silver coin with a tarp over it, and there's a guy who's sort of sitting near it. And then if anyone sort of, gets it in their mind to sort of look around in it, he sort of looks at them, flashes his sword, they go on their way, and then he just keeps watching. Night comes, and you can hear the sound of everyone sort of, going up and having a whoop up in the silver coin. And it's around a little past midnight when there is a robed figure that walks up to the guy on the cart. There's words that are exchanged that you can't quite hear. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
You discern noise, right?
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Is it hear noise or
Hear noise, I believe.
Hear noise in
Detect
sedition?
noise.
Detect noise?
This is what it says here. I don't see anything else.
Yeah, give us a roll on that, please. Let's see if you can.
So you roll under the number it says?
Under the number, correct.
So let's roll 1d100.
I think those roll actually.
Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think the thief skills actually work.
Never mind.
Let's see.
Let's click this thing here.
Nice.
Holy crow, I did it.
Wow. So what you craning your ear in, and trying to block out the sound of the raucous celebration going on in the silver coin, the miners all joining in with a miner song. You can hear him say, "Take it to the farm." And as instructed, the guy with the sword hops up on the cart, hits, and this mule or donkey that's been sitting, or a mule, I suppose, that's been sitting there just, standing in its harness for hours and hours and hours now, just gets going, and strangely, it makes almost no noise. Whoever has, been maintaining the axle in this thing, it makes almost no, there's not the creaking that you would normally hear, there's not the whining of, metal moving, it's nearly silent. And this thing slowly rolls. The only sound you hear is the sound of sucking as the mud is pulled up by the wheel when it first starts rolling, and then it rolls outside of town to the east. There isn't really a road either. There's remember that the way people get in and out of Millbourne is pretty much like there's small paths that might lead out, but then just sort of trail off into wilderness. So this guy's just going across an open field and heading off. So you. Where were you keeping eye on this?
Well, I would have been directly opposite of wherever Bergour was making the concerted effort to draw their attention.
Sure. So maybe in the trees or up in the trees near the mansion?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So then as this thing gets, to the edge of town, we see the shadowy figure drop down. And what do you do next?
Well, I will attempt to. A donkey's not a lot faster than me, is it?
You can probably. It's not at a trot, and it is fairly heavily laden. So I think you can probably keep up with this thing.
Okay, so
You're not
if I'm
gonna-
not
Go ahead.
labored keeping up with it, then I will be making a concerted effort to memorize where I am going.
Absolutely. You don't have any outdoor skills, do you?
I have tracking.
You have tracking? Okay, give me a tracking check, please.
That might help.
Yeah.
Nice. So here's what you realize is there's actually a fairly, now that you're actually following this, there is for the first little bit, it's just a field, but you get to a point where it gets outside of town and it starts getting a little more, there's small copses of woods around here, and it's a little more hilly. You can see that there is an actual path. It's very hard to see if you weren't a trained tracker. It's unlikely that you would have spotted this, but there's definitely a trail leading out, and you could easily follow this again.
Nice.
This travels for about maybe 2 hours. You know, it's really it's not a rush.
Yeah.
It's not going. Well, I mean, 2 hours is really only a span of about like what a mile or two in this terrain.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, a full day of 10 hours of travel makes, I think, 24 miles is how far you'd go. So figure about 2 miles. Oh, so it's about 4 miles, I guess. So 4 miles out, and then what you see is this. Where is the farm? It was an F word. This is what you see. No, I don't have hold on, I didn't put dynamic lighting on by accident, did I?
Farm.
Oh,
No,
I didn't. Good.
I can see it.
Okay.
They've got props, an outbuilding, and a little shed house.
So there's a house that's in here. It goes up to the shed, and as it kind of rolls in the middle of the night, it walks over. Whoever the guy with the sword walks over, knocks on the door of the what do you call it? Of the farmhouse, and someone answers. The person who answers goes inside, comes back. The two of them go out to the barn. They fiddle with something on there. You think there might be a lock on the barn, and then the two of them unload whatever was on the cart into the barn, and then the cart and donkey are brought into the barn or mule, and then the two of them head out and then back inside the farmhouse, locking the barn behind them.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna move around the garden to sort of the rear side of the barn.
Let me grab a token for you. This way, when the shambling mound attacks, I'm sure things are perfectly safe.
Fang dragons like cabbage, right? There's like a lot.
Fang dragon, yeah, I love cabbage. Little known fact. This is one of the advantages of having the monster ecology information in AD&D 2nd.
Yeah.
Really tough to chew with only one tooth, though.
Here we go.
Otherwise, it would be called a fangs dragon, right? See?
Exactly.
Yes, it's one giant
Thank you,
buck
Dave.
tooth. Ooh.
I got it. I know where you're going with that on this.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm for sure now going to have the Fang Dragon speak with a lisp when you guys finally encounter him. What are you guys talking about? Okay, so there's your token, Keldor. Go ahead and tell me what you think is going to happen here.
Okay, well, all he's trying to do is get close enough to examine the lock that's on the building so that he has some idea if we need to bring lock picks or cutters or...
Do you have thief tools?
I don't know if that I've ever bought any, if that was something that would... if they came with my character, I have them. If not, I haven't bought them.
Okay, you would have had to purchase them.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
Which is great. That means that every time you've tried to pick a lock, you've had to borrow Dorman's.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, you suck at that. Give me those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll sneak around the building and get close to it so that he's sort of in shadow to the little outcropping, which is I'm assuming where the doors are.
Yep. There's still light inside the building too.
Are there any windows?
Inside the farmhouse, there are, but the curtains are drawn.
Are there any? How tight is the wood? Are there any cracks or knots that Calora can see inside?
In the barn or in the house?
In the barn. He's not looking.
In the barn. No, the barn is pretty well constructed.
Oh, and there's no windows in the barn. There's windows in the house.
Sorry, there's windows in the house. Yes, there's no light in the barn. If you stop and listen, you can hear the sound of the mule kind of moving around, and you think you can hear the sound of maybe one or two other horses. But otherwise, no, there's
just animals.
Just animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll sneak along here, and like I said, I just want to come out and examine the lock. I don't want to mess with it. I just want to see it.
What you can see, there is. There's some kind of loft in here as well too. So if you scrambled up the side, you think you could easily get in there. It's open to the elements right now because it's it's summertime, and that's the way you get heat out of these darn things.
Right, otherwise it's too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, so I could take a peek inside.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Totally. Hobbs.
But he's definitely looking. He's definitely checking out the lock so that if we come back here, he can tell them like we have to bring, I don't know,
Yeah.
a method to get inside.
There's also a big difference between the red flags that were showing up for Erlich's choice of actions and the,
Kev, do you have that meme I sent you?
Brandon sometimes watches us on Fridays. I wonder if Brandon's in the audience. Brandon, give advice to Caldor. He's going off on his own.
that meme I sent you about. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so give me a climb check, and there are handholds here, so I'll give you a plus 20% to your climb check.
Okay. I mean, this is what I'm the best at, though. Should be okay. Climb.
Famous last words.
Exactly.
Well, actually, with the miscellaneous modifier, it's
Nice. Okay.
Oh, I was supposed to minus 20 technically.
No, either way it works out. You technically have like 105, and you roll an 80. So
Yeah.
double zeros would have given you a fail, but even that is, it's not that you have some dramatic failure. It means you're just not able to get up for whatever reason until
Right.
circumstances change. But yes, you scramble up, the side of this. We see, and I'm assuming that you're doing it in a way that is out of the. Oh, give me a percentile check.
Okay.
Okay. So there's actually a little bit of rain today. So you which means that it's overcast, which means that the visibility is pretty reduced.
Yeah.
So you have the advantage of, we see, the rain coming down, and for when the dramatic lighting, I guess, hits it, we see just the outline of this figure scrambles up to the top and disappears inside the barn. So you get inside the top bit there too, and it's a bit of a climb down into the actual loft. And the loft is full of hay. It's midsummer or late summer, I guess now. So you can picture that there's already been a fair amount that has been collected and stored up there. You can hear the sound of the animals below, but they don't seem to be aware of your presence. So they're not disturbing you. What do you do next?
I just want to move through the building and see if I can get some kind of an idea of how much goods are here.
Okay, so you make your way down to the main floor, and do you have animal handling of any kind?
I actually do have animal handling as well.
Fantastic. Give me a roll for that, please. Awesome. So what do we see? That's right on the number you needed to. What do we see as you calm, that animals suddenly having a strange, the scent of a strange person in there that they're not familiar with may react and may make noise, and that may draw attention. That's a combination of your knowledge of animals and your general thiefy sneakiness. What does Caldor do to avoid these animals from, making noise?
Well, I think I knew about the mule beforehand, and that there was a chance I might have to interact with it. So I've brought a couple of carrots with me, and I've...
Oh, love it. I was just typing sugar cube in pocket.
Yeah, I think I actually would have some carrots. Or maybe I even just picked them from their garden right outside.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the horse kind of, you hear the swishing of the tails of these things, and then all we hear is this pop of the carrot being broken. And then these...
Yeah.
And they're quite content. Each of them are quite happy to just, be chewing on the vegetables and maybe toss one or two more down on the ground to keep them occupied. And here's the strange thing. There is some stuff. There are some, some goods, things that are bound up, like maybe some vegetables that are packed up, getting prepared for the winter or something like that. I clearly know nothing about actual farming, so I'm kind of floundering here. Then there's a hoe. I think there's a kid who witnessed a murder as well too that Harrison Ford is going to protect.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So what do you What you see though is I guess what you don't see, which is of significance, is there's no boxes.
Right.
So you're looking around, the boxes that you saw that you were loaded up that you've been watching all night, they're not here. And the guys were in here for a good 45 minutes.
Yeah. So clearly there's a trapdoor or some kind of a secret hiding place that they are moving the goods.
Okay.
Whether I can find that?
Let me check. Oh man. So you know how I was at the old place, I was bitching about how I don't have something to keep my stuff on. I need a little side table. I have a whole ottoman I brought in here now. So an ottoman that I have all my books spread out on, and then when I'm working I can put my feet up on it and
What does your regular table think about you having a side table?
It's quite occupied with other books right now and a computer, so it's getting some love as well.
Just making sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Polytableless?
Polytable. Jeez, actually.
Polytableless. All right.
Okay.
It's an open book relationship.
It's open table.
Open book relationship. Well played. Well played.
All right.
I
Sharpen my axe.
I'll take a bit of time to look, but I will not spend much more than like 15 to 20 total minutes in the barn before.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm just trying to find the.
I'm just letting you know, just like if it's like if it's like an hour to look for the thing, well, I won't do that by myself.
No, it only takes you about a turn, so it's about 10 minutes, and you know what you find. Yeah. So you're sort of poking around on the. It's in the floor somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. It's got to be in the floor. There's no hidden.
Right,
spaces.
I was already upstairs, and this is clearly a functional barn on this floor. So
yeah. So you check the main areas, and that seems to have nothing. You check the, the entrances. You check sort of the corners, nothing. But then you think about it, and you open the stall of this big, gray farm, draft horse kind of thing, or workhorse. And as soon as you open the door, this thing still, it goes down and grabs one more of the carrots that you put in there, and it's crunching away, and then as if it knows, it walks out. And you look down in its stall, and you can see it. There is, underneath it, there is a tarp that has been covered in earth that is on top of some kind of, like, plank or board of some kind. Because you can see just a little corner where the tarp is draped down over this, and and then mostly covered in earth. And if you carefully feel around, you think that this whatever is covering this, the flap, it is filling most of the stall. And the stall is probably like 7 feet by maybe like 10 feet.
Yeah. It's very difficult for Calidor to not become a murder hobo, sneak into that house, kill these two people, and steal all of Rendemus's... Rendemus? No. What's his name?
Darren R. Deeds. Captain Deeds.
Darren R. Deeds' loot, because it's probably worth more than 450 gold. But instead, he will coax the horse back into the stall. It runs through his mind. He probably spends about a minute fantasizing about just killing these guys, taking all the most expensive loot from this place, and making more money than we're...
You wouldn't be my brother if you didn't. You would.
I can't wait to pick those pocketses.
Yeah, but instead he coaxes the horse back into the stall, and we'll climb out of there, because it's getting to be like about the 15 minutes that he felt was safe in here.
Okay, so you've got him in, and then how do you get out? Do you get out the same way you came in?
Same way I came in, yeah. I won't mess with the door at all.
Okay, so then you get back out into the light rain, and what do you do next?
Well, I think I will actually just make my way back to town now.
Okay, now it will take you an hour or so, 2 hours to get back to town. You could forced march that and cut that down to about an hour and a half.
Well, I don't know. I don't think our plan was ever to act the night that we learned of this, so I think that this was just an investigation, and I'll head back and tell everyone what I've learned.
What if they move the goods?
This is way too. I don't think so. This is too solid of a. This is their storehouse, or at least that's what Calidor believes. Like, you got a barn here with a trapdoor and an old mare that stands on it all day. Like, this isn't the kind of place you're moving every night. This is the kind of place where they're keeping things.
Well, unless they just keep it there for a night and then they move it off to another location.
Well, potentially, but I think that, well, sure.
So you guys
can decide. If you guys want to head back at 4 a.m. when I get back, then by all means, let's head out. We'll be there at the crack of dawn. If you guys want me to wake you up and tell you, Calidor gets back to town at 4 a.m.
See, I understood that they were waiting for you. Is that what you guys understood? Yeah.
We're waiting. We're making this happen, I think. Especially if you tell us that you pulled vegetables from the garden and gave it to the horses, because somebody could notice that.
And that's why I was asking about the forced march. Is if you were going to try and
Sure, I guess if they're, might as well save the half hour if they're gonna. I didn't realize they were all standing there waiting. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Well.
So it's late when you come up, and I think that the door to the Baron is probably locked at this time. It's like 3:30 in the morning. But I imagine you have your ways of getting in. So, clambering up to your window, which I'm guessing you left unlatched specifically for this eventuality. You climb up to your window or your room on the second floor there, Calidor. You step inside. And is everyone waiting in Calidor's room, or were you waiting in some other room? Or where were you waiting? It's up to you guys.
Kev, I just want to point out that I would have stopped and grabbed my chainmail shirt.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Yep.
Do we all have our own individual rooms? I thought we were sort of doubled up or something.
I think you guys are doubled up, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, I think we're probably...
maybe...
Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say, Calidor, we would knock on walls or something, I'm sure we have close rooms or something to get together at the...
Knock on the doors.
Yeah.
Okay.
The secret knock.
So you mean picture that you guys are, you're doubled up in your rooms. You can hear the secret knock on the shave and haircut, and each of you guys meet up in Calidor's room as he gets his chainmail back on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bless you. Okay, so what happens next then, guys?
Well, Calidor exactly describes where it is and how he got there and what he found inside the barn.
Okay.
Great.
So we go there now. If we end up in a confrontation with anybody, we do non-lethal damage. We take prisoners, and we get these guys to whoever they are to give up their betters, and we work our way up the chain to get daring our deeds. If the goods in themselves aren't enough to.
Well, they're not. So Calidor would point out that these goods are technically not within the city limits, and it's probably not enough evidence just to get the goods, because they could have technically come in from another method and not arrived on his boat and come through town.
Well, so maybe what we want to do is not necessarily grab the goods so much as grab the guy, right? Whoever the people are, if we can get them and get them to say to Rendemis, it was, daring our deeds put us up to this and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. We're going to do this way, and then gonna beat it and kick the guy's ass. We're doing the Peaky Blinders style.
Shitty accents is my shtick.
Yeah. We're doing crappy accents, Peaky Blinders style. Let's go, everybody. Hats on. We're gonna go beat.
You got razor blades sewed into that thing?
And in the razor blades.
Okay. So what happens next then, guys?
We leave town, but not through the normal route in case they're watching.
Okay.
Well, It's the middle of the night, like very middle of the night. Probably the guards out are the only ones around.
Are you guys going on foot, or are you? Do you have any other transportation ready? You would have had time to.
I will let you know that I cannot forest march.
Right.
And our dwarves are not too speedy.
No.
Let's use the motorcycles.
All right. I shotgun in the sidecar.
Yeah.
Even Kalidor can ride a speeder bike.
Sure. So Knox is not going to be able to force march, but that doesn't, again, with 2 dwarves in the party, that really doesn't make a difference anyway.
How long will it take us to get there?
2 hours.
Kalidor.
Could we have gotten some horses or something from Rendemus?
Unless you're stealing them, no. No, Rendemus actually doesn't have horses because the town doesn't really do a lot of, all long distance travel is generally by boat. There's not really horses that are around for hire.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
No, I was just asking because if he knew we were doing this mission, he might have helped us. But if he doesn't have any, then we're probably stuck on foot.
Okay. So it is a, it's about 2 hours of travel to get there too. And I'm picturing there's probably about 15 or 20 minutes of you guys getting ready and kind of discussing things as well too, bringing up to speed of what you saw, what you plan to do. I will allow you guys to kind of come up with your own, ideas. Training montage, yeah. Live to win.
Technically, we have an hour walk at least.
Oh, totally, to discuss the particulars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just grab tokens here, guys, and then we'll bring y'all into the
tokens. What do you mean? Why would we need tokens?
Are you like JRR tokens?
Yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien. All right. Let's see here.
That's right.
I like theater of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
What's theater of the mind?
I have to say, Jeffrey, that was
It's where there's no actual map and you just describe what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Jeff, I have to commend you on a well-executed thieving.
Thank you. Honestly, Kalidor's been having a really good couple of sessions.
Yeah, it's true.
I told you guys he came back a new man from the Clifftop Warrens, or whatever they're called.
Brother, you impressed me lately.
Normally, you're such a piece of shit.
But not before that.
No one knows better than me.
Okay.
Only my dancing used to impress him, and now I've got other skills that he
Nice.
appreciates.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I think I accidentally grabbed... I think there's a dormant in the mix there that I don't need. Let's see.
Well, we need his tools, so...
So you sneak into Dorman's room and you
Steal his
pickpocket him to get his
Yeah.
to get his tools.
No, I'm sure he'd bored. I mean, he may not have wanted to participate in this, but I'm sure he would loan Kalidor his tools.
Okay. Loan them.
Yeah, loan them.
He's snoring. Give me a move silent check.
Can we just take a wide berth?
4, 6, yeah. Okay.
No problem.
A 4.
From like
Yeah.
Okay, so you have access to thieves' tools. So I've just put you guys in a line there. You can feel free to position yourself wherever you want, and feel free to approach the farm from whatever direction you want. There's fields out in pretty much every direction here, and then the river is about a half mile south. I think, Elanion, you've got no direction, right? Or direction sense, or whatever it's called. I get that
do
wrong
as well.
every time.
Yeah, I've got it as well.
Oh, okay, great. So then you guys can sort of judge where this is. Druin's coming into the house from the north there.
Yeah, I'm assuming we wouldn't come right by the house to get there. Like that's
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, I've scouted the house enough to tell you guys where we're going. Well, what's the plan? Are we taking the 2 men in the house?
well,
Are we
need to confirm
attempting
that
to find the goods? Like, what do you guys want to do? What's our plan here?
we probably need to confirm that the goods are even here
So you
and that they're
guys,
illicit goods or
just certain FYI for visibility here. Those of you without dark vision or whatever, in night, there's no moon because of the overcast sky. You can spot movement at 50 yards, and you can spot a figure at 20 yards.
Okay.
So 60 feet out is about as far as those of you with or without, I guess with, dark vision can see out that far into full detail. But you can make out a figure at about 60 feet. It's 150 feet is where you can spot movement. So sort of judge where you're going to be according to that to keep yourself within, unless you've got some way of messaging each other, just be aware that you may not be able to see each other past a certain point. So,
Right.
Bergour's...
Is there any...
Go ahead.
Sorry,
No.
Kev, I was just going to ask if there's any light coming from the house itself.
There is
Lamp
not
or
at this
anything?
point, no.
Okay. Cool.
And you can judge that it is probably around, it's getting close to like 6 o'clock in the morning by the time you guys get here.
So
How much
Keller
before
can let us
daylight?
around. Before
What's
daylight.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's fall, so yeah, it would probably be. Would have a bit of time
Okay.
before the sunrise.
So Keller could have let us around, so we're not going by the house, so we could be approaching it from, this is called north or whatever.
Do you want to first check the barn? Like you're saying, like let's come in the barn first.
Yeah, I was saying we check to make sure the goods are there, or that they're illicit, or that we have a reason to go in and.
Well, we know Kalidor can tell you that he is almost certain that whatever is illicit, if there is anything, it's there. But if you want to see, you won't have the tax record to prove that the rum or the whatever we find hasn't had taxes paid.
Right. So we're just going to take these guys from the house?
And force them to give up their boss? Is that what the plan is?
I mean, that's one way. So what Elanion brought up earlier, or somebody, I think it was Elanion, brought up earlier, was the fact that if we were to, find this, any of this contraband, we can't prove that it was his. He can just say, it's not mine. So if we do capture at least one of these people and are somehow able to convince that person to, rat on Dernor, it seems like we actually have a chance proving it.
Well, what if we tell them that the punishment for their crimes is death and their only option is to,
Plead down to giving up their boss and.
Exactly. Essentially, giving up their boss is what will give them their lives.
Well,
I mean,
we
yeah.
can prove this is illegal contraband, right? Because here's the contraband. If it wasn't signed in by the chick, then it's illegal. We saw it come here. We know it's from there. Why isn't our word as good as anyone else's? I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Good point. And we know this is the cart that the fighter trainer guy was trying to watch. So we just did a better job of it for him and found the location.
That was Bergour.
Well, no,
Previously, I said.
Yeah, Rendemus has watched this cart and failed, and now we've watched it and succeeded. So he'll, that's.
I agree.
Some points right there. Okay, so
So what's our strategy here?
So just go straight in the house then.
Well, Kalidor, do you know how many? Do you have a sense of how many there were total?
Well, there's the man who brought the goods, and there's the man who helped him unload it. Whether they have allies and others here, I can basically guarantee it, because if this was my stash of illicit goods, I would not have a single man watching it. I can guarantee you there are several men inside who are paid to guard this farm.
Whoever gives the orders is the one we keep alive.
Should we do any kind of recon before we all descend, or?
Is there a door?
Well, should we light the house on fire so they come out
Oh, that's interesting.
in a panic and
then we all go to jail for arson?
I mean, it does seem to be a working farm, right, Kev? Like, this is what we see. These are.
Oh yeah, it's for sure a farm. Like, this is an actual.
Yeah.
Well, and I can tell you by being in the barn, it's a working farm.
Yeah.
Right. So this could be someone's house.
Right.
He's
That's
just
my
agreed
fear.
We go in and start killing family members of, So
I could totally see that happening.
Druin will not.
Well, how do you differentiate who's a family member from who's a crook? Because if someone comes out and says, oh, this is my house, I'm just a farmer, they made me do it, and then another guy comes out and says, I'm his brother and I work here, and then the guy who drives the cart comes out. And
Sure, I was thinking more like little girl. I was thinking more like little girl comes out holding a teddy bear.
Well, yes, let's agree to kill no one under the age of 12.
Good work, brother.
This took a turn real quick.
Why don't we just go in and see who's here?
Let's capture them all.
Yeah.
Okay, but I
like
say
it.
that though, like it's like medieval times, right? Like 13, you're basically a working citizen.
True. Or a working
I think-
girl.
What?
Oh.
No, in medieval times.
Downward slide. Stop the downward
What
slide.
do you mean a downward slide?
Steve said, or a working girl.
Yeah, Steve's comment. I think that was directed towards not yours.
I was gonna say, like when you're like 13.
Okay, so
you would be like
let's
Okay,
guys,
where
let's
are the doors?
redirect the planning from teenage
Where are the
murder
doors?
towards what are we actually doing here?
Where are the doors so we can go in?
Yeah.
The doors are where you see them, right here.
On the house?
Yep,
On
there's
the
one there,
house.
and there's one over
Oh.
here. Am I on the hold on?
Oh,
I
we're
might be on
not-
the wrong level.
we're-
What am I on?
Yeah,
No, you're good.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah. So the
Yeah,
door,
that's
the door
right.
that you saw the person go in is the one over here. Yeah,
we're
you can
ignoring
picture-
the stables.
Yeah, these pillars here, that's part of an awning, and then there's an awning over here, or I guess there's a little deck over here.
I guess we're ignoring the stables and the goods, and we're going into the house. So, are there doors to the house?
Right
What?
here.
That's what I
What
just
he just
said.
indicated.
This is the house.
Oh, this is
This
a barn?
is the door. These
Barn's
are the
over
doors.
here.
Okay,
This is the house. Door. Door.
Two doors.
lost. Okay,
2 doors down.
Yeah.
all right.
So we need to split into two, or we'll lose them through the other door.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, I'm going to the south door. Anybody else want to come with me to the south door?
well, let's split three
Yeah.
and three.
Dwarf to each door.
Boom. Really goes
Only
backing
5
up with his
tokens.
spear of heraldry.
Yes, Spear of Destiny.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So then I'll go with my brother and make sure he doesn't
Brother's
murder any
next.
teenagers.
You guys push
Not
them
my style.
through. Knox and I
Yeah.
and Bergour will capture them with magic and might.
Okay.
That sounds
So you
good.
want us to flush them out?
3 and 3. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you guys.
Here
are-
comes the pit.
All right. So let's do this, guys. We're not going to roll initiative, but we are going to go into combat turns here. So is everyone where
Okay.
they wish to be at the start of what might be combat?
I'll go here.
What about this one?
Does the door open in or out? Do we
The
know?
door opens out.
Okay.
One of you guys cover this
here.
window over there.
There are locks on the doors.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I guess I'll attempt to pick this lock then. Will be the first
Okay.
thing. Or you're just gonna kick it in, Drew, and he'll whisper out.
No, if you can pick it, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
My open locks is 15%.
We might be kicking anyways.
Yep. Get
I
ready.
love that I stole his tools for what amounts to like never.
What would Store do? He would immediately run in. What are you talking about?
I know he would. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Guys, hold the line. Hold the.
Yeah.
That's the WWSD, right? What was
Okay. Yeah.
That's right.
Mhm. Right.
Okay, so you rolling a lockpick check there, Calidor?
Oh, you want me to?
yeah, you'll know.
roll it?
You can roll for that. You'll know one way or the other whether you succeed or fail.
Oh, right. Yeah,
There-
yeah.
yeah.
It's
There you
only
go,
the
Hobbs.
secret ones that
You can add that to your hashtags on your website, Hobbs.
So you get down and you're fiddling away at this, and like Dorman makes this look easy.
Well, he's also a gnome, right? So these are like gnome-sized tools, and Calidor's just cursing them. Like, how
Goddamn
does he
fucking
use this stupid little pick?
Okay, you're muttering. All right.
He steps back.
So that
just kick it in, Druin.
Well, it opens out, so he's gonna have to put his axes away and give it a yank.
Okay. Give me a open doors check, please. What your strength is? What 16?
17.
17,
Open doors is 10.
17 is a 10, yeah.
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So this thing smashes open.
Fueled by the thoughts of taking this smuggler down.
Yeah. So you pull it out, and like the whole side of the door frame that concealed the mechanism just it wrenches it off. Well, I guess it's probably like a sliding, like a deadbolt type thing. So that splinters off of the door inside. You guys on the north side or the west side of the building, you can all hear that. Rilligo, what are you doing this round? And the inside is perfectly dark.
I have infravision.
Still do not see anything in there.
Well then, I see nothing.
Awesome. Do Bergour, Knox, or Elanion do anything after hearing that door splinter open?
Just keeping an eye out and ready to cast a spell.
Okay. All right. So then, guys,
should send
Step up a little bit closer.
someone needs to check the other side. Really go. Make sure they don't go out the window or something.
Good call.
There's a
Watch the
window
back.
over here.
I'm on it.
okay. So you move
Step
up
up
to
here.
8, I guess, this round if you want Rilligo.
So I can see this.
Okay. So Elanion's keeping an eye on the side. Rilligo was racing around the back there. All right. Okay, guys. So let's do this. Everyone, we're going to go into round 1 here. And Arlen, since you've made your triumphant return, let's start with you rolling initiative. So, guys, everyone decide what you're doing this round. And then, Arlen, would you kindly beat my 8? Oop.
Hand axe.
Go, Arlie, go. Go, Arlie, go.
8.
Nice.
Nice. Rubbing it in my face. All right. So my first action will be at a certain point. So, we go ahead and type in what you guys are doing. You can feel free to hold actions. Just remember, you cannot hold an action for a spell.
Oh, shit.
You can do subdual damage with any weapon, right?
Yes, you just take
hit
minus
flat,
2 to hit, I think.
essentially. Yeah,
Yeah.
-2. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's minus 2. I'm subduing you with my crossbow.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that
Let's see here. Okay, everyone's in. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I'm missing one person. Who am I missing?
Oh.
There you go.
Bingo.
I had to switch mine.
Oh,
I
right.
forgot.
Okay.
We couldn't hold spells.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay. All
I was
right.
just trying to decide what weapon Calidor would have out.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay, guys, so first up we've got Knox the Unexpected. What are you doing?
I'm casting Flaming Sphere.
Nice. So what happens
So
here?
Well, basically, a spongy ball of flame appears within 10 yards of me.
Yeesh.
Sweet.
So I don't know if there's an icon or something I can use to
Yeah.
indicate where it is, but
Go ahead, go to the draw shape thing and just draw a little red circle.
okay, I'll be doing that while you move on. But I'm just going to place it. It'll be not far from Bergour, but not touching him. That's me.
So you're not going to damage him.
Just up
damage
to his
then.
nose. Just right
Yeah.
up to there.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be in the same square, but otherwise.
Last night I was feeling that I had to go through and change the fucking ad stuff on every single video.
No, I saw that.
Oh my god. Fortunately, to reward myself, I allowed myself to watch a very, very old, like a 3-year-old episode of where we did a one-shot with D&D 4th. And it's good to see that it is a truism across editions that Burning Hands always includes fellow PCs. Because I can't remember who was using it, but they tagged the PC
It's
with
tradition.
it as well, too. I'm like,
It's
yes.
tradition.
Absolutely. Okay.
Can you delete those 2 little red things? That was a mistake.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
was just trying to click off the thing and it did
I
that.
think I can. Hold on. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer.
Okay, I won't let me do it.
I got it. I got
Thank
you
you.
covered.
Thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Boom. There we go. All right.
Right.
So that was so there's this flaming sphere now that appears next to you, Bergour. You've never seen them do that before. Then Druin and Calidor, what are you guys doing?
Druin gonna burst into the room.
Okay.
And Calidor's basically following right behind him with his sword drawn.
Druin, give me a d6 roll. Same thing with you, Calidor. Okay. So you guys race in there. The room appears to be empty. And then, let's see here. Next that was Druin and Calidor. Then on 13, Rilligo. What are you doing, Rilligo?
Rilligo has nothing to stab, so he will move forward 6, 7 spaces or so.
Okay.
I killed the table.
All right. And then let's think here. Okay, then actually I'm going to go here. All right.
Do I have my action still kept? Can I smash the table in case it's a mimic?
Good precaution.
You're not adjacent to the table, so no.
I'm just kidding.
Also to the barrel, the door, the desk, and the sink.
Right.
Kill the whole house. All right. So what suddenly comes from the shadows, guys, is Druin. You sort of get in there and you're like, and then from the rafters of this house, what leaps down is a little kid. This kid
He looks like he's under the. Is he under the age of 13?
He is under the age of 13.
No.
But he races over towards you and then swings his little fist at you.
Jeez.
And hammers you for 8 points of damage. DR will apply against this.
Say what?
Whoa.
Bare hands. And then Calidor,
That's not normal.
it appears that next to you is his father. Big bushy beard. And he comes racing, leaps down again in this almost like simian way and swings his bare fist at you. Fuck, that's a hit as well too. And you take 9 points of damage. DR applies. Boom! As he hammers into you. His fists, both these guys, they hit like sledgehammers.
Jeez.
And then it is Elanion's turn. What are you doing?
Elanion has his bow out, waiting to stick someone's sleeve to the wall if they run out.
Okay. And then, let's see here. Druin, you see another figure runs into the room. It looks like a young man. He looks over in your direction. His face kind of trembles, and there's this sick kind of like shifting kind of sound, like as if a mix of like sand falling and kind of twisting leather. And Druin stands, complete with armor and weapons, where he was, then turns and begins making his way towards the door.
Huh.
Bergour, your turn. What are you doing?
I'm gonna come up to the door and do my best to kick it in.
Give us a open door. What's your strength?
16.
16. Okay, so I think what is it?
20.
Okay, yes, please.
It's an 8.
8 or less. Okay.
Oh, sorry. No.
9 or less. Isn't it right? Okay. Go ahead. Here we go.
Nope.
Oh, she nat 20. Oh God, I feel this in my hip.
That's okay. That's okay.
So you're smash. All right, so that is the end of round 1, guys. Let's go on to round 2. And Arlen, you are still in charge. Everyone decide what you're doing this round?
We have Astonishing Fortune, right?
Yes, you guys. Oh, no, John means no one's keeping track. Yeah.
I know. Okay.
6 points of Astonishing Fortune. Arlen, beat my 5.
9.
9. Oh. I'm acting on a 10. Actually, I got one that's acting on a 5.
Druin shouts out, Calidor, this isn't a kid. Not the way you hit me.
Oh, actually, I'll start going here. So what happens first is, Bergour, you hit the door, and then what do you call it? What happens is the door suddenly is thrown open, and Druin is standing there. And Druin says, they're going around back. Go get them. Hurry, come with me. And he moves past you. Boop, boop, boop. And he opened the door, so he's only able to get to there. But he's running around back. Come on. And as far as you can tell, looks, sounds, acts exactly like Druin. Then the young kid turns and tries to, once again, he's moving so quick, way faster than what a human child should be able to move here. And Druin, a 4 is not going to hit. Now you're savvy to his attacks, though, so you're able to keep a distance. Calidor, let's see if this old guy can hit you again, though. 10 is not going to do it. So thanks, you're grateful you changed into your chainmail, because he hits, but it doesn't, there's nothing that penetrates your chainmail. At least you don't feel it. Next.
It should actually be 1 hit point higher.
Oh, okay. Next.
Because of DR, right?
God damn. Fucking Norton. So those who are on the screen, my apologies. Norton suddenly pops up. Next up is Knox the Unexpected. What unexpected action do you have for us?
Well, did I hear what Druin just said?
Yes, you did. And again,
Okay.
For Elanion and Knox, this looks and sounds exactly like Druin.
Okay, so it sounded like things were happening to the south. So I'm gonna direct this
West. He said it around back.
around. Oh yeah, he did say around back. I have no idea how. I've been rereading this spell. I don't know if I can move. I know I can cause this flaming sphere to move on my turn. I don't know if I am also able to move.
Okay.
That's just
well.
a concentration aspect, isn't it?
It says it doesn't specify specifically.
So the spell cards sometimes have condensed rules on them.
This one I think has everything, but I'll double check.
Yeah, I know people were bitching about that when I was snooping online about them. Flaming sphere creates a burning glow, blah, blah, blah.
I should have known something was funny about this place when their fucking cabbages were as big as me.
That was the first clue.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same, but
Okay.
So it says the sphere moves as long as the spellcaster actively directs it. Otherwise, it merely stays where it is. Blah blah. And that's all it says.
Yeah, I think you need to. I think you need to stay stationary for
Okay.
concentration.
Okay, so that's fine. So I'm just gonna cause it to go. I can go up to 30 feet. I'm just gonna.
The last thing we had that had concentration was Spiritual Hammer, and I think that we allowed Druin to move during that. You can move half combat and still concentrate, but your concentration is your action then.
Yeah, I wasn't able to take another action. But I was able to move.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna move myself. I'm gonna move the flaming sphere.
Yeah, and you move it 30 feet. Okay. Then it is Druin and Calidor. What are you guys doing?
Druin shouts out, "There's shape changers, and a fake Druin just ran out the door!" And then he's going to hit this thing.
Okay. Go ahead.
And this little kid in here is definitely not a little kid.
Okay. Druin and Calidor, you guys both hit.
Druin's making a judgment call that this isn't a little kid.
Okay.
So he's
it definitely, unless humans are a lot tougher than what you realize, there's no way this is a...
no, he's not volley punches here.
Born with like 19 strength.
Oh my god. Calidor, that is a big hit. Druin, you hit with one. Oh, you hit with both? Holy shit, guys. Yeah, so those are vicious things. And it's, they're bleeding just as if you were murdering humans. Then it is, let's see here. Next is Elanion. What are you doing?
Can Druin just shout one more thing at this thing that after he hits it?
Of course.
Show me your real self, fiend.
Okay, love it. Then,
Or true self, maybe.
I love it. So here's what happens.
Oh man.
I'm gonna put a
Nice.
a little dot on here so we know which is which here.
Just in case you guys weren't getting enough Druin tonight, there are now 3 of me on screen.
Okay, so that was Rilligo, we missed you. What are you doing, Rilligo?
Rilligo is going to sprint this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, running up and down the back there.
Exactly.
Elanion, what are you doing? Hobbs stepped away. Bergour, what are you doing?
Well, I heard Druin say something about a fake Druin, so I'm gonna run up to him and shout, "Druin, where's Calidor? Weren't you fighting with him?"
Okay, give me a sec here. He's gonna run back. He's going to catch them. There's a window. Careful. There are imposters among them. Sounds exactly like Druin. Same battle brother you've been fighting with all summer.
Well, then I'm going to move past him over to here
Okay.
and look along this side and notice that there's no window along this wall.
No. Well, he said around
Right.
back, though. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
he's
but we
saying
know
that
that there's only the one window over here, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's around back.
Yep.
Okay. So, then it is, let's see here. It's a favored round, so does anyone have second attacks here? Calidor, I think, does. Druin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Calidor has a second attack this turn, I believe.
Yep.
Whoa. That is a 20.
That's a 20.
Nice.
That 20,
Nice,
yep.
brother.
That is a big hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And a 4 hit still, Kev?
More
Nice.
damage.
AC4 does hit as well, yeah. Okay, so what does it look like as you skewer this old man? Or do you just slash him down?
I think he just the old long sword right up through his gut.
Okay, so
Probably
he sort of
comes out
falls
the other
onto
side.
you. And you see his features sort of shimmer and then fade until nothing but a white, featureless face. It still has eyes, but it's got no nose, and its mouth hangs open, and this blackish colored or blackish tinged blood comes out of its mouth. Its whole body is naked, but muscular in a really weird and unsettling kind of way, and the whole thing drops. You know, like the giants or whatever looked in Prometheus. That's sort of what these things, but a wiry version of that.
Okay.
And then
Calidor will yell at the top of his lungs. They're not human!
And Druin, your axe blows likewise fell this one, and you fall to the ground dead, and then in a blink of an eye, you find instead this similar, almost identical to the one that dropped. You would have a hard time distinguishing the two, apart from the horrific wounds that you guys inflicted on them. Bergour, give me a percentile check. I'll let you make the roll here.
50-50.
Still, it seems, yeah. This is moving like exactly. He even runs along. You fought shoulder to shoulder with this guy for so long now. You know, he still moves exactly like him. All right, so I think that's it for second attacks, guys. We are on to initiative. Jeff, initiative passes to you, and everyone decide what you're doing. Oh, Elanion, you missed your turn. What are you doing?
Could we? I just walked out and then I was going to shoot anything. Could we hear them yelling from inside?
You definitely could. It's otherwise like silent. Okay, so there is something that this Druin does, the one that's outside, that does not. It passes Bergour. It's completely bamboozled him. Knox has been paying attention to this flaming sphere. Elanion, what is it that you notice about this Druin that he's just not getting right? He looks like him, he sounds like him, but there's something he fucked up. What is it?
Druin surely would have had cast his stupid Whitebeard spell.
Yes,
by now.
Silverbeard. Oh, that's so good.
Yep.
Love
awesome.
it. So you notice, that's not Druin. What do you do?
Is this before next action or this
No,
action?
this is your action this turn.
All right, I'll shoot an arrow at him.
Go ahead.
It cannot be the Silverbeard.
Okay.
Miss anyway. Boom, arrow shoots.
You guys have a shit ton. 6 points of astonishing fortune.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
Make me feel like I did something.
Ugh, that's not quite good enough. So
Just a
this
miss.
arrow goes forward, and so Bergour, what happens is Druin turns towards Elanion and says, "He's been replaced. He's an imposter. Get him." What I'll let you do, give me another percentile roll. He mentioned the Silverbeard thing. Let's see if that's enough to convince you. Okay, so now it's going to come down to you deciding how Bergour would react here. We're on to the next round then. Jeff, everyone decide what you're doing. I'll leave it to you, Arlen, to decide whether Bergour believes this is him or not. And guys, I rolled a 4.
Boom.
Nice.
Nice. 1. Amazing. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
What is the speed to do like a special maneuver? Like basically what I want to do is trip Druin and then stand over his body with my shield over him so that nobody can shoot him, but he can't go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm wondering what speed that would be for.
I think it's a 5. I think it'll be about like what a longsword is.
All right.
Okay. All right. So it looks like first up we've got Calidor. What are you doing?
Okay, so to be clear, is there any other floor or anything to this place?
No. There's probably
They were just in here.
They were
Okay.
just in here. There's a rafters in the ceiling, but they seem to have jumped down from those. They must have heard you guys coming up and laid in ambush.
3, 4, okay, 5. 6,
Well,
7,
some of us aren't so quiet.
8. So I just move. I'm just moving.
I didn't want to point fingers, Druin, but it may have been you walking up in heavy armor that made me roll.
Yeah, well, you know.
I'm just moving to there.
Okay, perfect. So you're running in there, and you can see the door is open, and you can hear there's a lot of noise coming outside, and there's the roaring of some kind of big fire. Next is Elanion and Knox the Unexpected. What are you guys doing?
Elanion, I'm casting a spell. Elanion reaches down, touches the ground, and a small fist of mud crumbles in his other hand when an earthen arm erupts from the dirt and attempts to grasp Druin.
Awesome! Nice! This is, what do you call it? Maximilian's...
Elanian's earthen grasp. Oh, no. Yeah,
Elanian's
Maximilian's
earthen grasp. I love it. Nope, that works for me. ABB, baby. Always be branding.
You know, nobody else would know if you called it Elanions or like really.
So he needs to make a saving throw.
He does. Yeah, I'm checking what...
He might get a -2 because I'm an earth elementalist. Is
He
that right?
actually fails.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
he failed. I
grabs
rolled
him.
terrible for the save. And there's no such a thing as astonishing fortune for the DM. So the fist, what does it look like, I guess, Elanion? This is the first time you cast this.
Yeah, an earthen hand, but it's kind of marked with the whitish color of Elanion's skin, reaches out and grasps him heartily on his thick thigh. Holds him fast.
Bergour, yeah, he cries out as well, too. He's grabbed me! He's duplicated his spells! What kind of sorcery is this? Still sounds exactly like Druin, apart from the shitty accent.
Druin would... Oh, that sounds exactly like him.
Knox, what are you doing?
I was gonna yell.
So I whip my hand and the flaming spear follows my direction, and it whips her right around
Flaming spear.
Bergour. Yeah, and lands, hits Druin. Unfortunately, Bergour is also going to potentially take damage because you're within, you're next to it. But it's going away. It's going away immediately.
I love fire spells. They're so
Yeah.
great. So
Totally.
what is...
So he gets a saving throw. The bad guy saving throw versus spells.
I don't know what you're talking about, guys. It's Druin who's there. Don't listen to Dave. Dave's just lying right now. Druin is outside. Okay, so that's a fail. What happens now?
Okay, so he's gonna take some damage, and then Arlen, unfortunately, sorry, you have to make a roll.
Oh yeah,
as
sorry
well.
about that,
So,
Arlen.
Okay.
So that's terrible damage, but he takes 3.
Okay.
That guy.
Oh, amazing save by Bergour.
Okay, he made the save. Then he takes nothing.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, let me
Alright.
double check that.
I'd like you guys all to notice
Yeah,
that
negates.
Elanion spells never hurt anybody else.
Shoot. This one didn't either.
So far.
Okay.
Take note that Druin spells hurt a whole fucking lot.
But the
All
flaming
right.
sphere then disappears because that was the 3rd round of it.
Okay, cool. So and then it disappears. Awesome. Then it is Druin Axebrother.
Druin.
Axebrother.
Can you move half your move and cast a spell, or full combat move?
You
and
move
cast a spell?
half your combat move and then cast spell.
Okay, so he moves there,
Ew.
and then he casts Silverbeard.
Nice. Okay.
There we go. That's the
then
real Druin.
Bergour and Rilgo. I think Bergour's the one who's in the action. So what are you doing? You're gonna try.
Really
some-
goes.
Well, I was planning on trying to trip up Druin so that I could stand over him.
Okay.
He's kind of in the grasp of Elanion's earthen hand right now.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just going to do the transfer my shield bonus to him thing, cover him with my shield,
Okay.
because that's essentially what I was doing, and say like, we have to figure out which Druin is real.
Okay. They're killing me, Bergour. They're killing me. Then it is.
The accent's killing me.
It
my
is.
Druin's not Scottish.
All my dwarves are. Rilligo and Rilligo, what are you doing? Oh, you ran around the side there.
Yeah, ran up there.
Okay. And then I think that's the end of the round, guys.
You don't think? Do you think I'm the real Druin, Rilgo?
So the drone gets to try and. Does he get to make a save to escape now at the end of his turn?
I don't think so. He can attack it if he wants to.
Oh, right. So he's going to try that. Against AC 8, that hits. And it has double your hit points, right?
Yeah, 34.
Holy crap.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. So he smashes
Wow.
away 9 points of it with one of his big axes, but it's still holding him firm. So I think that's the end of round 3, guys. We're on to round 4. Let's quickly roll initiative here. Jeffrey, you won last time. Oh, beat my 8. Whip 8. Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So he does have an AC bonus of plus, or 3 better now, right? Because you got your shield plus the magical modifier. Is there anything? And then plus your...
3 versus missiles, 2 versus melee.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And it also has a -2 to attack.
Oh, yeah. Well, I rolled an
Nice.
18 to hit, though, so that's... It would have hit like a negative AC at that point. Okay, so I'm still missing 2 more people. Looks like Druin is up first. What are you doing, Druin?
Druin is running around the corner.
So I'm missing Rilligo and I'm missing Elanion. Okay, so Druin's running around the corner.
5, 10,
then
15, 20.
Knox the unexpected.
And
What are you
then-
doing?
5,
Okay.
10, 15, 20. And he yells, "That's a false Druin, but we need it alive."
Okay. Then,
Well, I'm not going to kill him. Don't worry. So I'm casting a mode
I just
of.
wanna- Just want to mess him up a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I now conjure 2 motes of bluish energy in my hand and hurl both of them at this guy.
awesome. Nice. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna do this twice because I don't have it set up to do it.
Okay.
I'll fix it though.
Go.
So 6 total.
6. Do you think 6 is enough to take down this stouty, tough dwarf?
I'm hoping it's not.
Unfortunately, it is.
Okay.
Those things blow right through him. And what drops to the ground looks like Druin. But what lays there after a blink of an eye is another one of these amorphous, sexless, white-skinned things. 2 scorch marks in its chest. Its legs still grasped firmly in the stony grip of Elanion's magic. Guys, we are out of combat. So what do you do next?
We need to find evidence that this
So
Well,
yeah, we go check.
implicates.
I mean,
Goods.
isn't it evidence enough that these creatures are here? I mean, doesn't that tell us that maybe there's other of these creatures in the town and under the employ of didgeridoo?
Yes. Didgeridoo definitely.
I
is
mean,
up to something.
Yeah, it seems like that's the explanation for why it seems like he has a whole lot of people working for him, right? Is that
Yeah.
they've got shape-changing, face-shifting
Mm-hmm.
type stuff, and he's got a certain limited number. So definitely my suggestion would be check on the goods and then put the carcasses of these things onto the cart and start hauling them back to town.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
So yes, the cart is in there. The animal is
Should
in
we
there.
just, or do we just send
Check-
somebody to go get Rendemus?
Check out the farm too, right?
Yeah, we should.
Like the plants and the
Mhm.
and the
Oh,
barn.
inside
We
the-
send, like a runner to get Rendemus if we don't want to alert everybody that these things are out there.
Yeah, we would probably want to be discreet about this. Carting him back into town could cause a ruckus, and it might also blow the cover. And if Rendemus is alerted by himself, then he can round up some boys and maybe us, and we can go and take this guy down.
Okay.
Interesting.
So everyone, give me a D6 roll, please.
Shit.
Nice, Knox.
Calidor.
Nice, Druin.
Nice. 6 is good.
Okay, well, I think Druin is particularly paranoid at this point too. Knox and Druin. So as you guys are talking about this, there's the first sort of hazy, the rain has stopped at this point, but the sky is still overcast. But in the east, you can see the sky is now firmly turning a very pale shade of pink as dawn comes upon you. And Druin, I think you hear this. And Knox, you see this. Something is moving in those crops because you can see them, and it's moving away from you. And guys, that is where we will leave our session. So,
Nice.
those of you who did not, who got your training done and who have completed, who are sitting at 1 less than your than your next level, congratulations, guys! You now have just gained enough XP to gain another level.
I've only gained.
Oh man,
Let me tell
dude,
you.
I lose 6,000 experience points. I lose for not being able to go up. I could be level 5 right now.
Is it because you missed a training day or something?
I think the timing of it, it worked out so you missed a training day. So the fighters in the group and the bard as well too, you guys defeated 12 hit dice of creatures today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm only level 3 fighter right now.
Okay, and you did
Haven't trained
speak
that.
to Lord Carmen today too. How many points of astonishing fortune we got left? Is it 5?
We have 5. Yep.
Holy
Yeah, we
shit.
only used 1 to
Jeez.
no avail.
But it was a good use.
Okay. So then that means with 12, Steve, you're going to gain an extra 60 hit dice from your bard stuff. Jeff, you did successfully hide earlier, so you can get the extra XP from doing that. From using your thief
What?
ability.
Do I get 100 per spell level?
No,
It's
you got
50. 50
Is
per
it
spell
50
level.
or 100?
50.
hold on.
50.
And it's per skill use, right? So I hid and I climbed.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Hold
and
on.
I listened. And
I think that's the and you successfully listened too. Yeah.
No,
Because we were saying 100 in the other game.
No, it's 50. It is 50. It's 100 for priests. Priests get 100 per spell.
okay.
Wizards get 50. But hey, but
I'm
don't
only
worry.
taking-
When you make your first magic item, boy, are you going to be flush with XP.
I'm only taking 100 if it's a spell that moves my equals forward.
Yeah, that
or,
works here with your
like
Pantheon.
Typically combat spells.
Okay. So you guys will be able to. We'll figure out what the training is between now and next time. For about 60 today. All right, guys. So before the any prime requisite bonuses, you guys are earning 335 XP for today. 335. All right. Okay. Let's see. Nice. Walter's session 36. I've missed a lot. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 36 of our ongoing Night Below campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of this video, and I will endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. In addition, if you enjoy the session, be sure to click on subscribe and click on the bell icon and set it to be notifications for when we're going live, and you'll be notified for when we're going live, and be sure not to miss another session. In addition, Hobbs, are we on the Gamerhood today?
No, I was too late to get it going.
Oh, well, for those who do enjoy the melodious sound of Hobbs's voice, you can find him on Mr. Hobbs's Gamerhood on Twitch, and be sure to follow and consider subscribing to that as well. You can find links in the description of this video to our Patreon, to our Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also find a link to our Dungeon Musings Discord server, where you can find channels dedicated to this campaign and every other campaign we run on the channel, as well as a bunch of other campaigns dedicated, or a bunch of channels dedicated to finding a group, to some of the games specifically that we run, including AD&D and Traveler, or not Traveler, Starfinder. Why am I thinking of Traveler? Jesus, it's been a long time since we ran that. In addition, you can reach me by email at dungeonmusings, dungeonmusings@gmail.com. Gosh, talking about the Twitch has thrown out my rhythm of my outro. There is also a link in the description of this video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That's the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. And in only a few weeks' time, we'll be kicking off the annual charity raffle. So our grand prize for that is a donated copy of the Eberron, the gold edition of the Eberron Rising from the Last War, and as we get closer to the raffle, I'll actually bring that down. That's my copy, but there's a brand new copy still in its packaging that Beetle and Grimm has donated. That's our grand prize, and we're going to have a bunch of other cool prizes as well. And all donations that are made, which include the raffle tickets, benefit the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, a really terrific organization active in over 130 countries that benefits over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. Now, last but not least, though, in the midst of this shambles of an outro, I want to give a big thanks to my players. So, Jeffrey, Steve, George, Dave, Hobbs, and a big welcome back to Arlen. Thank you so much for playing tonight, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Awesome.
Excellent. And congratulations again for those who got their training done, who have a new level. Well done, guys. And until next time, for those listening at home, once again, thank you so much for joining us. And until we see you again, I hope this finds you healthy, safe, and weathering the current crisis as well as can be expected. Until we see you again, happy gaming.